It would help if I unmuted myself. It's a stream now. It's fine. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Birds of a Feather one-shot, which will be featuring the content from the Birds of Paradise supplement about exotic Aarakocra and Kenku by Florian Emmerich and Katrina Bresnick. We are here today with 4 lovely players. And before I get into everything else, I want everyone to introduce themselves. I'm Mare. Hi, she, they pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at Archmage of Dice. And then Lady Dame.
Oh, me first. Hi, I'm Lady Dame, and today I'm playing Flick, the hummingbird sorcerer, and we both use she, her pronouns. Don't worry. Is that it? Is that everything?
Yeah. Anniek?
Okay, great. Perfect.
Hello, my name is Anniek, and today I will be playing Litzia, a salt jungle bird of paradise, way of the 4 elements monk. I don't think I could have made my title any longer if I tried.
I had to cut it down a lot already on the overlay.
I know, I'm sorry. Anywho, I'm super fancy and I can do fancy things.
Luke?
Well, hello there, friends. My name is Luke. You can find me on Twitter at Dr. Petrichor, and I will be playing Lagunas, the Circle of the Shepherd Druid, who is a macaw.
And finally, Wren, who is abusing the fact that Web Captioner can now do emojis.
I'm not abusing anything. I am utilizing a basic function of the software. Hi, I'm Wren, and you can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Thorny Dryad, like it's displayed under my name, and also like a prickly bush. Today I will be playing Sir Anadaius the Unyielding. I am a Hoitzin paladin, and I am here to conquer the islands, or whatever.
As you can see, all of our players will be playing one of the Aarakocra or Kenku in the supplement. There are a total of 5 unique Aarakocra subraces and 5 unique Kenku subraces. May or maybe not, more will show up as the game progresses. They all have really cool mechanics, extra things. It's really freaking cool. The art you see on screen is drawn by Raluca Marinescu. You can find them on Twitter at Mara_draws. There are 2 chats. There are 2 commands in chat, birds and bird art, if you want more information. We will also be giving away a copy of the supplement along with a couple other things from Florian. I will start that in just a second. Okay, so if you would like to participate in the giveaway and possibly win a copy of Birds of Paradise, Shore of Dreams, I think it's called?
Shore of Dreams.
Shore of Dreams.
It's such a good supplement.
And
it's so
Warriors of Sehenin. There will be 3 winners. And the command for that is going to be !Paradise. And with that, we are gonna... Wait, hold on. Cool. Hopefully that will work. And for that, we will get started. So, the world of Etios, as you all reside in, is a world full of planar mysteries. But today, we will be near the town of Zephyr's Nest. Zephyr's Nest is a coastal town and the only part of the continent that can reach safely to the sea. There are multiple high cliffs separated from the mainland and not. There people build their homes inside the cliffs, and it is a quiet morning in the light of pre-dawn. It is quiet, it is still, and far off in the distance you can see a group of 3 floating islands that appeared a couple days ago. Regardless of why you're going to explore, you're all about ready to make your way there for other conquest, knowledge, or just to see what the heck these things are. let's start off with introducing our characters. And we'll start with the most important one first, with their entourage. Anadaius?
Well, it's an early morning, as you said, but I'm here with my collection of servants. I'm bedecked in my standard armor, which takes me quite some time to put on because Tibia and Tarsus, they're a little shiftless, despite the fact that they have good direction from me. But I'm here on most important business. These islands have appeared out of nowhere as I stroke back my feathered plume and stare off into the distance towards these rather mysterious lumps of land that have appeared in the sky. But though they may be mysterious, there's nothing that Anadaius cannot conquer. Conquer it I shall. I shift my weight and take my fingers and tap them on the side of my trusty mace, which I use to slap some sense into people who get in my way. But there's nothing I won't do to spread my glory across these lands.
Flick?
Muted. There we go. Oh, hey, Flick, that's me. Flick is a brightly colored hummingbird, wearing a lot of bright colored clothes, and their clothes is a suggestion, really. It's more like a bunch of fabric sort of loosely draped in, some various and pleasing array. And yep, that's definitely Flick and not Lady Dame at all, who just yawned like that. But because it's early morning, and frankly, it was kind of a trek to get here anyway, to get up to the islands, and I'm really excited because I love all the sparkly and shiny things, but it's a lot of work, and so I'm a little beat at the moment. And I keep looking around to see if there's anybody who I can sort of hop on their back for a minute, just so I can take a quick nap before I'm ready to go again, because it's a lot of energy just being me sometimes.
And for everyone's reference, Lady Dame Flick is small. A small bird.
I am small.
Actually size small. She can sleep in a big flower, basically.
I'm about a foot tall.
Litzia?
I'm probably the size of a small, medium-sized dog.
Oh my gosh.
Like a football.
Like a football. So, if anybody, I'm not that heavy, so if, somebody wants to, let me ride on their back for a second, that'd be great, because I'm a little sleepy. It's fine.
Don't even think about it.
Okay. Are you sure, though? Anadaius, you're pretty sturdy and strong. You wouldn't notice me.
I'm a mighty conqueror, not a palanquin.
I don't know what... Oh, is that what Titania rides? Sometimes? Okay, never mind. That's fine. But okay. I guess I'll just fly myself then.
Litzia?
Litzia is, tall, definitely not strong, very quick, but hollow bird bones. I'm sorry, Flick, I'm not carrying you. It's good for you, flying yourself. It builds discipline and character, and maybe get up a little earlier next time. I've been awake for hours. I did 1,000 push-ups. Maybe work a little harder in general.
I don't know what you're talking about. This work thing. No, I don't like it.
Yeah. So Litzia's just she finished rolling her eyes at Anadaius and their entourage and the speech and the mace, and she's just holding her trusty quarterstaff with beautiful flower patterns. sort of out of place looking goggles around her neck. Fairly regular clothing, nothing that would suggest armor. I don't know. How does a bird look ripped? Like it's just just very quick and very light, very not strong. Again, hollow bones, very, very obviously. But just beautiful plumage. Like her clothing's really simple because it's about the feathers and the colors of your feathers and making your feathers shine. So after the 1,000 push-ups, I've just been doing my feathers. I'm good to go. Whenever the rest of these creatures are willing to join us.
And Lagunas.
Oh, well, hello. My name is Lagunas. It's good to see everyone here bright and early. I was always wondering, those clouds up there, I've talked to them before, and well, the air elementals have tried to steal my dreams, and I'm suspicious of them. But those islands might have something to find, so that's exciting. And Lagunas would appear with his kind of like long, flowy, silken kind of robes. He's got like green and red and blue and yellow feathers kind of layered in stripes. And he's got a really large beak. And he's carrying a quarterstaff as well with little totems carved in it and feathers coming off. And he walks around with a fan and he constantly fans himself. He goes, "Are we ready to go, or is there something else we're waiting for?"
As you exclaim this to everyone, Lagunas, Anadaius, your squire, a fairly tall bird, who you call Squawk, goes up to you. Yes, Lagunas, was it?
Yes.
Just one moment. I have several other things to accomplish before we leave for my liege. But yes, the Squawk is a tall bird, white crested, long beak. Actually, webbed feet. They don't have talons. They are a Aarakocra subtype called Greb. They are both amphibious and airborne. And he pulls out a scroll and starts casting from it upon Anadaius and your two other servants.
Yes, good. Excellent. Excellent. Yes. Make sure to get me first and foremost. Don't forget the other two. They're only important by virtue of the thing they carry. Tibia Tarsus, you understand. Don't be too upset by it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good.
And he casts a spell on the three of you, pointedly ignoring everyone else because you are not his liege lord. Anadaius, you and Tibius and Tib also have mounts because as Kenku, you can't fly. So you have two giant eagles, one for yourself and one for the other two.
That just feels wrong.
Why use your wings for flying? You'll tire yourself out. Have someone else do the work for you.
I just don't get it. Like, if he's got a ride, why don't I get a ride? I can fly, but yeah, you're not wrong, Anadaius. It is a little tiring to get.
I think it's fun to fly, especially in circles.
Great. Or just fly to where you're going.
No, I love flight. It's great fun. But like usually I just try and get where I'm going super quick. And then that's about it.
It's a lot harder to go up to these floating islands than it is to go between flowers, I'm afraid.
Flowers are usually not that far apart. I like fly to one and then I land on it and then I take a bath and take a nap and then I like land on another one and do the same thing and then like I go a little bit further.
Should we be going somewhere? That's a rhetorical question. We need to get going. As fascinating as I find all of you, I feel like studying you and then judging you and walking away from you kind of way.
Oh.
Perhaps we should Go.
You must be from the university. That fits the bill well. But
I
Yeah,
am.
right.
I'm
I
ready
got
to
really
go.
excited when she said she found us fascinating, and then she said things, and then I realized that she was being.
I just stopped listening after a while, and it went great.
As you're all squabbling,
I just want to go.
Anadaius swings his giant, gawky legs around the giant eagle and kind of mounts up. Squawk! Take the other one. Make sure Tibia and Darcis keep the reliquary safe. I believe we have a nice space for it on the ass end of that eagle.
I will keep an eye on it, sir.
Good. If anything happens to it, your bill is mine.
I know, sir.
Don't forget to fly the colors.
And he takes out a small flag out of his bag. What are your colors?
The colors of my conquest are blood red with gold filigree.
And he holds it in his beak and takes off with the other two on the other eagle, flying towards the archipelago.
Now, if you're all done chirping at one another, it's time for us to fly. And I take off.
I'm good to go. The flag seems a bit much, but let's do it.
So, Litzia and Flick, you are Aarakocra, and Anadaius and Lagunas, you're Kenku. But Anadaius, do you want to tell us a little bit about how you fly? Since you are a Kenku, and Kenku normally can't fly. And you don't have wings.
Who?
Lagunas, sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Lagunas has this level of kind of like mysticism around him where as he starts to fly, he kind of like does kind of masquerade as though he's flapping his wings and such. But as he does so, it kind of turns into this like twisting dance as if like rocking back and forth in the air and not taking the most efficient route. And you notice that he's not really flapping his wings, he's just kind of like floating in different places. And just kind of as the wind takes him, he's kind of willing himself up. But it's definitely not through normal physical means.
Are you gust of winding yourself there?
No, the only gust of wind I need is the one the wind brings me.
Mm-hmm.
Are you riding on the clouds?
Well, no, not yet. Those are up there, but they're very friendly.
The clouds are friendly?
But yes, of course. I mean, until they get stormy. You don't want to be around then, but...
Fair.
Yeah, I found clouds to be rather fickle creatures myself, so yeah, but okay.
As you get closer to this congregation of 3 large islands, you can tell that all 3 are heavily forested, some more than others. It both simultaneously rises up, like in hills, and one of them actually has a very large mountain with a flat top and a peak. And the ground, it's all rock. You can see roots just like peeking out and hanging. Some are even like just hitting the crests of the waves underneath it. And as you get closer, it is very apparent, and as it was hypothesized, these islands are from the elemental plane of air. As I know, out of character, you're all aware that Etios has planar shifts, but in character, and for those of you who don't know, Etios likes to hug other planes, and random areas will just randomly show up. Plane of air, water, the elemental plane of wood, you name it. They just kind of collide for a bit, and these places just show up, and there are set groups in the world that explore them. Or in some cases, conquer, I guess.
Send a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, basically. It's an adventure regardless of who is going there.
I know,
heard
but
it was-
someone needs to keep you all safe.
How far ahead of me are the minions with the reliquary?
I believe giant eagles have a fly speed of like 40 or 50.
I
And
have 45, so 40 or 50 matters.
giant eagles have a fly speed of 80, so I lied. They're
80.
way ahead of you.
Pity. That's fair.
So yeah, they're way ahead of you, as is Anadaius. I'm not sure what Lagunas' and Flick's fly speed is off the top of my head, but my guess is you two are more congregated than the other two. But as you get closer, the winds are picking up. They are much stronger. And I'd like everyone to make the first roll of the game, as these winds are buffeting you. It is strong, and as you get closer and closer.
What kind of check?
I will allow acrobatics, athletics, except in for the case of Anadaius, who is riding a mount. So I will need an animal handling check from Anadaius.
Oh, good.
$15 for Lagunas.
It's a good thing that I am both very athletic and very strong. And by that I mean I'm not either of those things at all. I rolled a 7.
Well, I did say you can do acrobatics as well.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Sorry, that's an 8.
What was that? Yours was a 15, Lagunas? Flick was an 8?
8.
Litzia?
24.
Oh my Jesus. And Anadaius.
Look, I'm a monk. Acrobatics is what I do.
11.
So, Litzia and Lagunas, you are both fine as you are able to roll with the wind or like buffet through them depending on what you rolled. Flick, you are small. And
I'm small.
and you are buffeted into basically lower. You are wet as the waves like splash up at you, but you are not pushed into the water. Squawk is taking everything like a champ, but Anadaius, you and your other 2 servants holding your reliquary are also very buffeted, but you don't fall off, but you are all very wet now as you are pushed towards the ocean.
Come on, you all. What's keeping you? You just need to jump and let it carry you away. Come on.
So can I go help Flick? Like, you know, Anadaius and his minions are on their own. I don't particularly care about what happens to them unless I get a chance to mess with that reliquary. Can I help Flick?
Of
I'm
course
trying.
Of course you can.
Like, without having to carry Flick? Because, you know, not strong.
I'm small.
How do you help Flick? Tell me.
Like, if it's the wind that's buffeting her, if I can just sort of like fly perpendicular to the strongest wind stream and just keep her out of the wind a little while we go back up, just shield her from the worst of it.
Yes. Flick Litzia comes up in front of you and begins flying in front of you, so you aren't completely buffeted.
Okay. Can I roll again?
You may.
Okay.
With advantage.
Thank you. It's hard! I told you I was tired!
I'm helping. Maybe work a little harder in between missions next time. Get some strength up.
Hi! I rolled a 19.
You're good. You are all
That
able.
seems so hard!
You are all able to push through these winds, and as if you are entering the eye of the storm, once you hit like that barrier, the winds turn into a gentle breeze, and you all land on the closest island, which seems to have the densest jungle. It's not quiet though. You all hear the sounds of animals chirping, much louder chirping, as in like squawks and singing in Orin, and music.
I'm sorry, did you say there's music?
I did say there's music.
Oh, it's playing again. It's my favorite. Wait. Oh, this isn't in my own head this time. That's good.
I
No,
draw
but
my
it does
mace.
remind me of home.
I like music! Music's great! This
If
is
there's
nice.
music, there means people here, which means denizens to conquer and subjugate. Come along. My trusty mace and the rest of my entourage will lead the way, and the lot of you can, I don't know, follow in my greatness wake.
Anadaius, you're so funny!
And you're very small.
Yes.
Maybe they'll teach us how to play that music.
Well,
Maybe.
If it pleases you to hear that music, I will order them to continue to play it after they swear allegiance to me.
This seems agreeable to me.
Traipsing off ahead.
That seems absolutely terrible, and I will follow Anadaius to protect whatever citizens live here from Anadaius.
What do you do with your mounts?
My mounts? Oh, I turned to Flick. What do we do with these? Let them loose for now. Make sure that there's some sort of, mechanically, is there like a way for us to talk to them because we're both birds?
Squawk turns to the birds and casts a spell. They're good with animals. And begins talking to them. A couple minutes, like a minute or two later, the birds go fly off. Probably look to perch in a tree somewhere, preen, hunt. Sir, they will come back at our request later.
But they don't actually like you. I heard them talking, just so you know.
It's fine, I don't need them to like me.
That's not a very unusual response to his royal holy conquestness, Anadaius.
Squawk, I knew I could count on you.
Of course,
You're
sir.
always so good with the animals.
Of course, sir.
I'm just gonna go ahead and head into the jungle.
Of course. As I'm assuming everybody's following.
Yeah.
As you go farther into the jungle, you actually do notice that there are signs of life and habitation. There are, they're not like stone paths or anything, but there are definitely well-worn trails, either whether it's animal or humanoid. Yes? Oh, you're focusing your camera. And it's fairly easy to follow. There's even like some torches that are unlit because it's daytime, or the sun has peaked over since it took probably about an hour of flight to get here. So the sun is definitely on its way of rising. There's torches on the sides of the path, and it eventually leads into a town, a village of some sort, where a bunch of Aarakocra and Kenku are having some kind of celebration. Most notably, you see 4 different types of Aarakocra and Kenku. One is a tall, bright pink, webbed feet bird. You would know it is the equivalent of a flamingo. There is a breed similar to Squawk with the long beak, white crested feathers, also webbed feet, much taller than others, and 2 others which you don't recognize. One is like a blue and purple feathered flightless. They look tough and threatening and strong, while the other one is a black corvid type bird. Every single one of these birds are wearing gloves, first of all. Sleek black feathers, tend to dress in reds, but there is some kind of celebration. There is a 2 tables slightly elevated in like this clearing area when you enter, which seems to have 2 of each type of Aarakocra and Kenku between the 2 tables. And as you all enter, you get a lot of interesting and odd looks, but no one is stopping you. They seem very intrigued, curious, but you haven't really done anything yet.
They look like they're having a lot of fun. Let's go meet them.
I was like, is this a party? This looks like a party. I'm so excited.
It does look like a party.
Let's
I do love
go.
a good party.
Lagunas, are we gonna dance?
Oh, I would love to.
Yay!
I probably can't keep up with your steps, but I'll try.
That's okay. You're pretty fast on your feet, I have noticed.
Off my feet, more like.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, we'll make our way over there.
Yeah, you're probably gonna have to go through some groups of dancing birds. There's also food.
Can we do the thing where you like awkwardly dance through the dancing birds rather than like not elbowing, just sort of go, yeah, dancing, moving through, dancing, moving through.
You should. If you're gonna do that, I want a performance check.
Oh god.
Isn't your bird all about dancing though?
It is. I was about to ask, can I start my dance?
You may.
I would like to start my dance.
What does this look like?
Oh, it's so normally it's just this super quick, whirly everything, but like I'm trying to be like a little lower key. Like you don't enter a party where you don't know anyone and make it all about yourself. So moderately quick, but very much all the feathers are spread out to display all the dazzling plumage, all the shimmers, all the colors. Just a little chiller than normal. And the not quite awkward. I don't know the steps, but we're just dancing through this. And I rolled high, fortunately, because I don't have a lot of performance. And that will be an 18.
It's like you already know these moves of these different Aarakocra that you have maybe not seen before. That's up to you. As you make your way towards like these
I love a good
tables.
flamingo.
Anadaius, you quickly realize that Squap, Tib, and Tarsus are kind of been like separated from your group and are being curiously looked at, or in Squawk's case, dragged into a dance from another Greb. But Flick and Lagunas, are you doing anything specific as you make your way?
I would probably go to some of the dancers, and Flick and I would try to learn it or something, or talk to them and kind of, I don't know, act like we were supposed to be there.
Yeah. I would say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Look, what's your name?
They give their name. Anadaius, where are you going?
Every time.
As I see Squawk being dragged away, I frown, and I look to Tibia and Tassus, and I point at the reliquary. Do not move. If I see you anywhere engaging in frivolities, I will have your heads rolling. And I look for the big buff-looking bird that you described. I'm looking for the beefiest looking, angriest looking bird at the party, and I am just going to approach them with the biggest chest-puffed swagger I can, and like my big gawky Hoatzin legs just like stepping high as I approach them.
For reference for everybody, this bird is based off a cassowary, I think it's pronounced. So big flightless bird.
I think they're from Australia, so you know it's ready to kill you.
Oh yeah, basically. You approach one of these who is just kind of like casually taking a drink out of a wooden mug as you approach. Hi.
And I just stare with my mace out. Like, honestly, I am threatening.
Like, actually threatening them to do what?
Put down that drink and face me.
Why?
Tell me, what is the name of this village?
We don't really... This is the...
Wrong! It's now New Anadaius. And this is my land. You are now my citizen, my subjugated civilian. And you will pledge allegiance to me and my greatness. Lick!
You're saying this to them. First of all, can you roll an intimidation check?
Oh, can I? Oh, that wasn't great. Yeah, that definitely... It's only a 9.
He kind of looks at you. He's probably like a little taller than you, but you're still... You do have a weapon out. And his voice echoes out over the crowd. Ulis! And one of the other cassowary birds, Kenkus, perks up. They are older. Litzia, you said you were heading over towards these tables?
I was.
You lost track of Lagunas and Flick and Anadaius and everyone else because they all went to go off doing their own thing. But as this name echoes across the crowd, the music lowers slowly until it's quiet and gone.
Instead of like face palming, it's just full wing ghost. Oh no.
Wing dab.
Wing dab, but a sad one. Like, you already know it's Anadaius. I just want to go. He's just oh no.
And the bird Kenku named Ulis. They look older, like an older cassowary stands up and looks over the crowd. Hello.
I'm not with him.
May I help you, Sir Hotson? If you have any issues with my village members, you may bring them up with me.
I turn immediately. My name is Anadaius, and you do well to learn my name.
I did see all of you come in. Are you friendly? Maybe not you, Sir Anadaius.
I'll fly over to Anadaius because I did hear him call for me. Hi, I'm Flick.
Yes, Flick. Engage in dispensing with frivolity.
Lagunas is gonna walk over and be like, I think he's telling us to keep dancing, Flick. Let's go.
Come on, Anadaius, it's fun.
Where's the music?
I don't know.
I just call out to the elderly cassowary, okay, so I'm friendly, 2 are idiots, and I don't want to talk about the 4th one.
What about the other 3?
Yeah, they're more like minions or pets. They do as they're told.
They're really nice.
They're okay. They're pretty. They're you can't really blame them. I mean, you could, but you shouldn't. You know.
Don't
Yeah.
worry about Anadaius. He's just he's got a weird sense of humor, but if you laugh, it makes him happy.
Just humor him.
Yeah.
And if anyone could fight him for a little bit to make him feel better.
That's true. That also makes him happy.
Myself and my compatriots and this elderly cassowary motions to the other 3, which seem to be they all seem to be wearing either a medal or a sash. Definitely some kind of position of privilege for these different birds. I would like to resolve this with no bloodshed, so if you would like to discuss and talk upon your visitations, you certainly aren't the first visitors of our traveling islands. I would prefer no blood to be shed. So if you would like to talk, I welcome you with open arms.
I'd love to talk.
I was good with the dancing.
I'm curious about.
Too.
I'm curious about your islands.
Well, what would you like to know?
How often do they travel, and why do they come to Etios?
Is that what this place is called? One of the other birds pipes up. It is the flamingo. The flamingo leader. Oh, I don't know. They just kind of travel every once in a while.
Well, that's not a good explanation at all, but I'd take it.
How
That sounds
do they travel?
fun!
Oh, but how? Is it...
I
I mean, I've seen Lagunas fly. There's clearly different modes of transportation around. How does an island fly? How do you travel?
another one, the Greb. They seem kind of young. Well, we're not exactly sure. It's just kind of happens. We've been, I guess you call this place Etios?
Yeah.
We've been to other places. Our islands just seem to hop around every once in a while. We've been to places with lots of flame. One almost completely covered in water, which was quite alarming when our islands were half submerged. But this is a place we haven't been to a normal looking plane in a while. At least not, at least besides our normal regular home.
Fair. Like, we've had some of the other planes crash into us. Or us into them. It's hard to tell. Did you visit us, or are we visiting you?
Well, I'd like to think we're visiting you. We know we're from the elemental plane of air. At this point, the final bird, please tell me if I am pronouncing this wrong. Pitui? Is that how you say it? I'm gonna go with that. The one with the black feathers with the gloves. Kind of looks down their beak at your group, but Anadaius, you can tell they're keeping an eye on you. Yes, our islands are definitely traveling. They look at you. They're definitely keeping an eye on you, Anadaius.
Well, now that we're here, is there anything fun to see or important to find on your islands?
Well, as luck would have it, you joined us during a time of celebration and unity between our 4 villages. At this point, we're actually about to start a process for an archipelago representative.
Ooh, who's getting represented?
Don't know yet. But as a sign of good faith, perhaps we can all participate together.
If that involves more dancing, I'm in.
More like trials and tests.
Oh. I'm okay with that, if it means we get to see more of your island.
Is this a...
Sounds hard.
Depends. Feats of strength, skills, physical prowess. Against our island, I don't want to say god, but definitely an overseer.
Okay, that sounds like really hard.
If we like make it through these tests, do we get to like do some research on these islands? Maybe take some samples, cast a few spells, see what happens, write reports, send them home. Interview some of your friendly local villagers about other planes you visited. Write a thesis, maybe.
I think if you can prove your worth, we will allow you to be honorary members of our home.
Awesome.
Ooh.
I like the sound of honorary members, but that sounds like a lot of work. And also, Litzia, wait, everything you just said sounds really boring.
It really isn't, okay? I've got 4 PhDs. There's always room for more. Oh, God.
What is the ETIOS long... What does PhD stand for in ETIOS, Anniek?
Oh, I really don't know. I think it varies for every subject you write a PhD in.
Squawk comes up to you. Sorry.
Definitely nothing related to philosophy, at least.
Squawk comes up to you, Anadaius, and leans down a little bit to whisper in your ear. Is this a good idea, sir?
Don't intend to follow in any structured, organized, nilly-nanny games. I throw my mace down on the table, like just slamming it.
But...
Are you all representatives of the 4 villages?
They all nod. Yes.
Perfect. Then I have you all here. You are now my subjects. And I am now these islands' overseer.
You know, perhaps, Anadaius, if you completed their trials, as they say, perhaps they'd all respect you more as a friend ruler, but really friend.
Rulers don't need friends, right, Squawk?
Perhaps this is the elderly cassowary speaking up. Well, our representative is chosen by our strongest and smartest champions. Perhaps
Good.
If you can beat them.
Point me to them and I'll clock them.
Can't, I'm sorry. The another cassowary at the other table, so they're mirrored elders, champions. The one large cassowary stands up and marches over to you, Anadaius. They are big, beefy, definitely maybe not the smartest. You are rude, and I will not fight you unless you show us respect.
Then you are a coward. And I know I'm the worst. I'm the absolute worst. I'm going to cast command on him and tell him to kneel.
Oh, jeez. What's the DC, and is that wisdom or charisma?
It's wisdom, and DC is 14.
Also remind me where that reliquary went.
Tibia and Tarsus are never that far behind me.
They're like behind.
But definitely behind you while you're focusing on something entirely different. That is all I wanted to hear.
As this burly man is before, this burly individual's before me, I seethe with a little bit of rage, and as I'm focusing, you can see a little bit of bright red energy emanating off of the reliquary, which is really just like a little tabernacle, and the light kind of radiates out and surrounds my head almost like a halo as I look to this person and say, "Kneel before Anadaius."
Sorry, one more time. What was the DC?
14.
No.
I'm sorry.
Well, it seems you've been beat, Anadaius. Now you have to prove yourself to them.
Can't you just, like, show them just a little bit of respect so they'll fight you and then everybody wins?
Wrong, Anadaius. Are you
You have to
scared you're going
really
to fail their little trial?
Are
you worried you're not good enough? Is that it?
Squawk.
Because we're pretty sure you're going to fail.
Squawk leans down and whispers in your ear again. Perhaps it would be better to infiltrate from the inside?
Squawk.
Look, Squawk, if he can't do it,
Oh, this
he
was
can't
very
do it.
this was very whispered.
Okay.
Squawk. There's one thing I hate. It's subterfuge. But if the best way to extinguish all hope is to pretend to play along and then destroy them from the inside, I will.
Did you say that whispered, or did you say that normally?
I said it as whisperedly as Anadaius can.
Okay.
Which is not very.
Probably, but afterwards I'm just like, very well. I will play along with your ninny-nanny games.
All of the champions and the leaders, except for the elderly cassowary, look concerned at each other, and the cassowary Ulis just seems amused.
Is Ninny Nanny one of the names of the dances? Because I can't wait for that one.
Oh, I think that's the one that goes like this.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's the Ninny Nanny.
Well, we'll have to brush up on it.
Yeah, okay. It's really easy. It just is the thing.
Wait, like this? No, wait.
Like two hands around your face and
okay.
wave.
I see.
And then wave.
Oh, okay. I thought it was. I understand now.
And then sometimes you go like, once you got it, then it goes a little like this.
The flamingo leader is just kind of like playing with some feathers. Well, like, do you want to hear like what we do for like each island? There's like a different challenge on each island.
What kind of challenges?
Well, first off, the first one is here on this island, which is, mostly the cassowaries live here, so it's probably not going to involve a lot of flying, because they can't fly. So basically, have you ever, like, played tag, but with, like, berries? And you just, like, smash them? It's like a hunting game.
No, but that sounds exciting, though. We might get dyed many colors by the time
Well, yeah,
we
that's,
leave.
like, the point, because it's also a celebration.
Oh, well then I'm all for it.
Sounds childish.
Oh,
Litzia's just brought out like a little book and is just trying to write down the rules. So this one is with like a tag hunting game with berries. What are the other options? Just so we have everything.
Well, there's not like options. We do all three, and whoever performs the best is the island representative.
Huh. Okay, so other than the bird paintball, what are the other two?
Like, the second one is on the second island where the Grebs and the Petui live. It's kind of like a scavenger hunt, but you have to figure out the riddle first.
That sounds awful. Yeah, keep going.
And the third one on the third island with the big, tall mountain that's flat on top. it's like a race, and you can sabotage the other players and
I love a good race.
other champions, and then you fight our island protector at the top.
Okay, great. So, paintball, something lame, race, that's the part that stood out to me. And then Anadaius gets to go ham and kill something. Perfect, let's get started.
Kill, that's funny.
Aha, hilarious. Why is that funny? Is it immortal? Tell me about this immortal.
You speak Orin, right?
I do.
They say a word in Orin which basically translate to large, big protector bird.
Sounds awesome. Large, big protector bird.
I mean, I like the throwing berries at each other. We used to do that as kids at home, and we just pelt each other, and then it was like fabulous. And then you like would lick yourself, and it would taste amazing. So that one sounds like fun. The rest of it kind of sounds, well, maybe not my favorite. They sound like work, but okay.
The Pitui, the black bird leader, just kind of looks at you, and actually walks up to you, Anadaius, and removes a glove and holds out their hand for a handshake.
I look at their hand. What is this?
A handshake.
I think you're supposed to like also extend your hand and then grab it, and then you move it up and down.
Very well. And I will squeeze the hand as hard as possible.
I will allow you to do that. I'm not going to allow any. They let you squeeze their hand as hard as you would like to.
Or hollow bird bones.
As you squeeze your hand, you smell singeing feathers. As their hand, as you come in contact with the feathers of their arm, burns you. You take 4 poison damage. It seems like there's some kind of oil on their hand. It is a pleasure to meet you, Sir Anadaius.
And you take their hand and you move it up and you move it down and you move it up and you move it down. You've got the like holding part.
Yeah, it looks like he's got the firm part down.
Yeah.
They just smile at you.
Maybe up and down is too complex for Anadaius.
And I am just squeezing with all of my strength at this point.
If you want to like roll your, if you want to tell me what like the damage is for like an unarmed attack, I'll just let you do it.
6.
Okay, you do 6 damage to this elder.
The pleasure is all mine.
So are these two just like locked in this like stare off of like a? I'll be like, wow, this goes on longer than I am used to. It must be part of the island's handshake then, yes?
Should we try it, Lagunas? Here.
Oh, sure. And it's like you're tiny, right? You're like much smaller.
I'm teeny.
So small.
Like,
So small.
oh,
Just holding all of Flick right now.
are we doing it right?
I think so.
Good job.
And when you finally let go of their hand, Anadaius, they put their glove back on casually and take their seat again.
Where is this first challenge?
One of the champions actually stands up. It is the flamingo. They hold themselves with a nice poise. It's right in the entrance to the forest. There is a boundary. I will make sure that everybody gets their allotted berries. And it's going to be basically a hunt. And smash as many of us as you can. Whoever is most colorfully dyed will have the least amount of points, and vice versa.
If someone were to eat them all before the end of the exercise, is that a penalty or a bonus?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, good. I'll try it out.
That's it, Lagunas. That's the spirit of discovery. You just try out that hypothesis and see what sticks.
Exactly. That's research, right?
Mm-hmm.
Squawk leans down to you again, Anadaius. Your orders, sir? I don't know if Tib and Tarsus will be able to keep up.
Well, they're gonna have to do their damnedest to stay in line.
Of course, sir. And you're all given a bag of like 4 large like fruits that are like berries. They're very squishy. Not enough to just like squish in your hand. But definitely upon impact, it's gonna make a nice splotch.
I think question.
Yes.
When you say large, like
Like a like I'm talking softball sized.
So basically, Flick is carrying something the size of Flick, or a little.
Yeah.
not that
Probably
small.
like
How many did you say we get?
4.
So yeah, 4 softballs carried by a foot-long hummingbird.
Yes.
Well, at least we know who's encumbered right now.
To clarify, it's only the 4 of you that are given them. Your retainers, Anadaius, are not given anything.
That's fine. They're going to carry mine for me.
I'm gonna take a bite out of one. Like I still want to use it, but I do want to test it.
It is sweet. It is a lovely but tartish sweet. Tasty, not poisonous. I will say that.
Gotcha. I'm gonna say, oh, these are tempting. But how do we do this tag? Do we have to go somewhere?
Yes. So everybody will leave at varying intervals, and we'll return in an hour. Whoever has the most colors is the loser.
Let's do it.
But I start with so many colors.
Hey, I do too, Litzia. Let's not mince grapes here, or berries, should I say?
This is like a
No,
like,
we are
bloodish
mincing the berries.
red.
That's the point.
Oh, that's true.
Bloodish red
Good
fruit.
point.
Beautiful.
So,
So is it just the 4 of us, or are we against other birds from the island?
you're against the other birds from the island.
Okay.
So one of each, a greb, a flamingo, a hellish pitui, and a cassowary. And at varying intervals, you all go off into the jungle.
All right.
Gosh. Oh, Flick, I don't know how you're carrying these.
I'd like to fly up a little.
Yes, can you carry mine for me? I'll throw them. You don't have to throw them. They're really heavy.
I just look down at you, and my eyes furrow.
Please. Please.
I'm not moved by your plight. Minions,
Yes,
saddle
sir.
up. We're leaving. And I start just walking away.
The 3 of them follow you with your berries in hand.
Do you
Squawk. Don't forget the colors.
Yes, sir. And he flies your banner.
Flick, if you help me target Anadaius, I'll help you carry your stuff.
Okay.
We have a deal.
So, you have all went off into the jungle. I'm going to take 1 second to change my playlist. You all go off into the jungle, spread out between the 4 of you, plus Anadaius's minions, because that's the first word that came to mind. Thank you, Anniek. While the other 4 also went out and separated. So we're gonna do this kind of like a edited skill challenge / combat. We're gonna get basically 2 checks per round. 1 to find somebody, and 2 to like hit them.
Okay.
So let's get a we'll just do it between. We're not going to do this in any specific order because you're all just kind of acting on your own. So we'll just go with your skills and finding people, and if you find anyone, you can hit them.
All right.
So, tell me what you would all like to do.
I mean, me and Flick, like, we have a deal. I'm carrying a whole bunch of berries. I'm looking for Anadaius.
I'm helping Litzia find Anadaius.
I mean, he has minions, he has a flag, and he's loud and obnoxious, so I'm assuming finding Anadaius is not a hard thing.
Would you say this is an accurate statement, Wren?
I was just going to say that the whole time I am wandering through the forest, jungle, yelling, "Face me! Step out and face me!"
That is exactly what I assumed was going on. I kind of figured he was standing somewhere going... So, that's who I'd like to target, along with...
Since, Anadaius...
I know we're supposed to be fighting the NPCs, but I just can't. It's gotta be Anadaius.
Since Anadaius is making no effort to try and stealth his way through the jungle, you do not have to roll. And I will allow you to throw as many berries as you do attacks.
Oh, wow. Can I... Because it's attack, key point, attack. If I flurry of blows with a key point.
Yeah.
Can I spend a key point to throw more berries?
I will say you have to use your key point to throw it because technically a key point is do a flurry of blows with an unarmed strike, so you're throwing something. So you won't get the extra 2 attacks, but I will allow you to do it.
All right.
So I don't think it'll matter because you get a I'm going to have you spend a key point because you normally have to do it unarmed attack. So
I'm perfectly willing to spend key points for this. This is what they're made for. Humiliating Anadaius.
You find Anadaius with his retainers, yelling into the jungle.
I just sort of picture Flick like hovering over my shoulder, and we're just having these softball sacks of berries. And as I'm throwing, Flick is just handing them to me faster and faster. She's just pelting Anadaius.
Like a chain gun of like
exactly like a chain gun of Flick and berries. I hope I don't fumble anything because I can just picture me grabbing Flick instead of a berry at some point. Just chucking Flick.
Yeah, so roll your attacks.
Hang on. I need a whole bunch of d20s.
Oh, jeez. Anadaius, what's your AC?
Let me make sure it includes my shield on my back. It's a 20.
I have one natural 20.
Yes, that hits.
So I'm assuming that hits. And then I'm gonna go do math. Ranged attack plus 7. 18. Dirty 20. 26. And a natural 1, so I'm afraid I am throwing Flick at some point.
So I think you're hit with 3, but you've lost however many berries you just threw because they do go splat on the ground.
That's fine.
Please keep track because I'm not keeping track of y'all's berries. Anadaius, out of nowhere, you are pelted with several berries and are hit multiple times.
Ah. A cowardly attack from behind. Squawk, clean up.
Yes, sir. And they cast a spell, and the berry juice is being slowly cleaned from your armor.
I turn and see Litzia. I should have known it was you. And Flick, I'm disappointed.
I was just about to say, natural 1. Flick, I think you're thrown. Can you make an acrobatics check? What'd you get?
That's a 6.
Ooh, can I catch Flick?
If everyone is cool with it, yes.
Do it.
I just, as you're thrown my way as I turn and make that comment, I just kind of hold up my hand and you fly straight into my palm and I kind of have you cradled between my hand, and I'm not squeezing, so don't worry. And I look at you, Flick, and again the same furrowed brows. I'm very disappointed in you, Flick. I had such high expectations for you, and I just kind of drop you.
Hi. Oh.
Flick, would you
Yeah.
like to do anything? You don't have to throw a berry, but would you like to do anything with your turn?
I'm sad that Anadaius is disappointed in me a little bit. It's okay though. I don't think I have the berries because Litzia has my berries currently.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You still technically
I-
have an action if you'd like to do something.
I sure do. So what I'm gonna do is because I look at myself and I don't have berries, but what I do have is some colorful sand. So I'm gonna take some of that out of my pouch and throw it at, like, I look really sad when Anadaius tells me I'm disappointed, or that he's disappointed in me, and then cast color spray.
What does color spray do again? Also, roll me a percentile dice. Flick.
Okay. Do. Where are all my d10s? Oh my god.
But question to the DM,
Yes.
is using prestidigitation to clean up the stuff you got hit with considered cheating?
You don't
Or is
know.
that
You didn't
part
ask.
of the game?
You
Fair
didn't
enough.
ask.
Oh god, now I have to roll more d10s. Why did I
Oh
do
my
this to
gosh, so
myself?
many d10s.
You
Okay, so
also- Sorry.
Go ahead.
for the percentile, I will say Flick did not intentionally cast color. I mean, she didn't know she was casting color spray. She just happened to have some colorful sand and threw it, and didn't know it was going to do a thing. The percentile was 31.
Nothing happens, but you do feel your magic well up inside you.
Good.
Something is weird. Have you ever been in planar fluxes before? Like, yeah, like when the planes are all wonky. Have you ever been in them before?
Flick?
Yes.
Probably.
You know that your magic doesn't like to interact with the planes very well, and it
Oh.
tends to act more erratically more often when you're not just straight in ETOs. But nothing happens.
Let's see. Oh no, that was a lot. Hold on. I didn't actually look at what color spray does, so it's going well. 1, 2, 3, plus 9. 12, and plus 7 is 20. Right, 9 plus 7 is... I can't math. Is 9 plus 7 is 16, plus 3, 19. So creatures, basically, the lowest, starting with the creature with the lowest hit point, each creature affected by the spell. Oh, it's...
You're doing pocket sand. And
I'm doing pocket sand. It doesn't really... it's how many hit points of this creature it can affect. So I rolled 19.
Tib and Tarsus are blinded as you throw pocket sand, but Anadaius and Squawk seem to be unaffected. As
Okay.
you are recovering from pocket sand, Anadaius, well, not you, but your two retainers. Lagunas, what are you doing?
It is now red, blue, and yellow sand.
Beautiful.
So they are colorful.
Lagunas is going to find a good perch in the middle of this scene and is going to try to find a canopy branch that he can look down at this scene going on with the rest of these three, and then is going to sit down on a branch and is going to start munching on one of the berries.
Nothing else? You're just gonna eat and watch.
They're like, this is entertaining. I wonder if I lick it off my bill if it counts as cheating. Oh, who cares?
I have an important question. Are you actually gonna throw any, or are you just gonna eat them all?
Right now, I am only eating. I don't know if
Okay.
in the future I
And
might.
how many are you eating? Out of
Just
your
one
four?
right now.
Okay. Anadaius.
After that color spray, man, flick. Squawk! Hold Flick down. I'm tired of this shenanigan.
Oh no. But sir, shouldn't we?
You worry about the other miscreants hiding in the. You leave the other miscreants in the jungle to me. You hold down Flick.
Flick, are you gonna throw the berries at her, sir?
No! I turn to the jungle. Face me, you cowards!
All of a sudden, several berries fly out of the trees. In your group's general direction, because I don't think Litzia is anywhere nearby. So it's at Anadaius, Flick, and
I was
your
throwing
retainers.
from max range.
Max
I'm up in a tree somewhere. Not blending in, because I'm too pretty to blend in.
A couple don't hit you, Anadaius, but they do hit your two retainers. Flick, what's your AC?
It's 14. No, 12.
You were also hit with 2 berries as this happens. They came from a couple different directions.
That's fair.
At this point,
Could I use a I don't know. I mean, my instinct is to do a level 2 command to ask everyone to approach,
but you need to see them.
but I need to see them, don't I? Sorry, I never use commands, so
Yeah, you
Yep,
do need
see.
to,
Okay.
you need to see them.
then I'm literally just going to use a persuasion check if I can to just try and lure folks out. Face me face to face, you cowards!
Sure, roll that check.
So, like, insight or something against that to realize what a bad idea this is?
That would be a 22.
Let me hold on.
I'm not particularly dumb.
Yeah. I won't say it'll be your choice, Litzia, but for the NPCs, a couple of them you see the cassowary, the big dumb cassowary, and as well as the greb and the what's the last one I'm missing? Basically everyone except the Pitui, you see, show themselves, and they're all, you know, up and down with their berries.
Yeah, I'm not going there.
Good. Squawk. Bury me.
Here you go, sir.
And I'll just chuck one at one of them.
Which one?
Gosh. They're also
Tempting.
the grebe.
The grib. What was it?
Ugh, why did I just roll a 1?
Goes wide.
Karma, that's why.
Who still has berries? I know Anadaius does. Do you have any berries left, Litzia?
I still have 4 because I have flicks.
And Lagunas.
And I threw 4 out of the 8 I had.
And Lagunas, you still have berries.
I have 3. Mm-hmm.
Litzia, would you like to go again?
Oh, I really do want to. I was very annoyed when they just prestidigitated all the stuff off it. It just felt like cheating and I hate it. I don't think there's anything I can do about it. When did they say the game ended? Was there a time set or was it when everyone was out of berries?
Whatever came first.
And I can see that there's people who still have more berries.
Yes.
The thing is, do I wait until I'm the last person to hold berries, throw them all at Anadaius, instantly end the contest so they can't prestidigitate before they have to be judged? Or not? See, this is the problem of putting an academic in a skill challenge where you have to do things. I need like a chart, some strings, a table, and a graphite pen.
Do you want to let Lagunas go while you figure this out?
Yeah, Litzia's gonna just pivot around a tree and think for a minute.
Okay.
I need a moment to plan.
Okay.
Bit of both.
Lagunas.
I just need a second.
All right.
3 more people have shown up that you can see at least, because they have come out into like, you're kind of like in a semi-clearing, not super big, but enough of a clearing.
So Lagunas, how can you paint the picture in terms of the distance between Anadaius and the 3 new people?
Probably like 30 feet.
30 feet.
They all like
right.
came in different directions.
Then this is going to be a little bit. You can tell me how much of this I can actually do.
Okay.
But here's what Lagunas is going to kind of look up and be like, I suppose the goal was to make them berry full. So let's see how they like this. And he's going to fly out from his little perch, and he's going to attempt to kind of like be up in the air above the people that Anadaius are fighting right now. Hopefully unseen, but he's not concerned. And what he's going to do, he's going to take one of his berries, and he's going to toss it up, and then he's going to take his fan and his one of his talons, and then his normal talon attack. He's going to slice the berries in midair, and then he's going to do a flourish, spin around in place, and with his fan of wind, he's going to cast a gust of wind and direct the berries to spray down at the newcomers.
How many attacks per round do you get, by the way?
I only get 1.
Unfortunate. So you'll do this with 1 berry, but it's like a wide spray instead of like everyone make a dexterity that's in range. I'll say you can get like a good chunk because these are juicy berries. They're juicy. Dexterity saving throws against we'll say maybe like 15, if that sounds fine.
Yeah. So I think it would be Anadaius, basically like those 3 and then Anadaius, or is Anadaius safe?
Are you aiming?
I'm not going to even bother trying. It's just like splat.
We'll say it goes over all of them. It's but it's like more who are you focusing on? The 3 or
the 3? Definitely the 3.
Okay. Anadaius will get lightly splattered, but the focus is on the other ones.
Sweet. Does that work? Does it
does.
Seem like they're splattered?
They are splattered, not as much as like a big splat, but they're speckled.
That's fair. I go, I hope those are tasty, and then continue flying across to the other side of the jungle.
Litzia, Flick, and Anadaius, I'll let you all do one more thing before we go to break.
All right, I've made my chart. I've mapped out my path. The end goal is to put Anadaius up against the big, scary bird island defender. So Anadaius has to make it through the first 2 contests. So my original plan to target Anadaius was inspired by emotion and logically not sound. So we're changing tacks, and I'll have 1 berry per other bird.
Okay.
Attack bonus. If you'll allow me.
Go for it.
Monks, man.
Level 6
monks, even.
I love monks, y'all.
The lowest is an 18.
Yeah, they all hit.
I go up to somewhere to 24.
None of these birds are wearing armor like Anadaius.
Fair. In that case, they each get a berry. Preferably like somewhere between the eyes.
Maybe not like the 18, but definitely like the 24s.
Perfect. The 24 is like...
Slightly blinded.
Yeah, and then I'd like to move away a little. Up and away.
Easy. Flick?
I would like to fly out of range as fast as I possibly can, probably to try and hide behind Litzia, because she's distracting with all of her beautiful plumage.
Easy. Anadaius?
Also probably lick the berry juice that's I mean, not all of it, but I wanted to taste it because it looks sweet, and it,
of course.
It was very distracting. That hummingbird
Anadaius?
How close are these folks, you said they're around 30 feet from me, but they're all kind of scattered. Are any of them close to one another, or?
I'll say like 10 feet, 10 feet, 10 feet. So like a fan like coming out from one side.
Perfect. Squawk. Give me 2. And I hold out my hands.
Here you go, sir.
And I just stalk across the open clearing with the berries in my hands. And I'm just going to approach one of them and like just go to smash it into them as hard as possible.
I'll allow you to make a grapple check for that instead of hitting them because you're just...
I literally am just taking the berry and like punching them with it.
They're gonna try and dodge, so if you want to like make like an athletics check to like grapple quote unquote them, you totally can.
With pleasure.
Which 2 birds?
It's a 24.
Oh god. What about the second one?
And I get... Would it be possible for me to basically like use my quote second attack to do the same thing, like just after that one turn around and go after someone else?
Yeah.
Not as good. That one is a 13.
This was against the grab, who is able to dodge out of the... Well, actually. Yeah, who's able to dodge out of the way. And with that, as most of you have already used most of your berries, we're gonna go to a break. So everybody take a stretch, water, pet your pets, please, and we'll be back in like 5 to 10 minutes. Hello everybody, we are back from break. I hope everybody had some water, maybe more coffee, pet your pets, hydrated. Before we get back into it, just a reminder, we are doing a giveaway of the supplements along with Shore Dreams and Warriors of Sehanine. I am typing the giveaway command. You just need to do !paradise in the chat to be entered. So, as we return, the 4 of you, along with the 4 champions of the 4 other villages of the Aarakocra, just had basically a bird paintball fight. That's the simplest way to put it. It was great. Basically, if you don't mind me, the results are Anadaius, because you cheat, you're ahead with prestidigitation in your armor. I don't believe Flick, Lagunas, or Litzia got hit at any point because...
Oh, I totally did get hit.
Oh, you did get hit once.
Yes.
But the other 3, the grebe, the pitui, and the flamingo... Not the pitui. The grebe, the flamingo, and the cassowary basically got hit with either from Lagunas or Anadaius just smashing a berry in their face. And the only clean ones are Litzia, Lagunas, Anadaius, and the pitui, whose name you find out is Aisha. And so we find ourselves on the second island where you are all told that the next task is a riddle, and you need to find the answer to the riddle and bring it back to the leaders. The riddle, Ulis, the cassowary leader, tells you is: we need you to bring 2 items to us. And the answer to the riddle, it'll be the answer to the riddle. The riddle is: I am both a creature and a fruit. You have 1 hour. And once again, everyone else goes off into the jungle. What is the game plan?
Please, 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 please tell me there's kiwis in this world.
You know that they exist.
Right, Litzia's running off looking for a kiwi.
Love kiwis.
Would anyone else make that connection for your riddle?
Lagunas is thinking to himself, am I considered a fruit?
Are
we
you?
all fruits?
What is a fruit?
What is
Webster's
really
dictionary.
Yeah.
I like fruit.
Anadaius, did they teach you what the meaning of fruit is in combat school?
You know what a fruit is? You damned macaw. And I just storm off towards the jungle. The best part is the fruit won't fight back when I pull it off the tree branch.
You need to find
I'm just gonna go look for bananas or something.
You need to find both, by the way, and bring them back.
Wait, both what?
The answer, there's 2 scavenger hunt items. A creature and a fruit. You need to find both.
We should, wait, but we should all go together because... Wait.
And Dace is gone.
You can go with me, but I'm just contemplating if I'm a fruit or not. Do you know?
I don't... Hold on. I sort of do the hummingbird tongue flick out, when they're drinking sugar water at Lagunas.
I put out my wing.
You don't taste like a fruit.
Well, there goes that idea. Let's go.
Okay.
So, it sounds like Litzia figured out. We could figure out this if your character would. It's up to you whether they would figure out naturally or not, because the answer has already been spoiled. Or you can roll a check. I'm letting this be up to you, and then there will be a couple checks to find said kiwis.
Flick would have figured it out.
Lagunas.
I've just rolled a natural 20.
I think you know what I might have done. So Lagunas might have gone into the middle of the forest and found whatever kind of creatures that he would find there. And because he is so blessed with talking to animals so often, he can talk to beasts at will. And so he would go and ask the beings of the forest if they knew anything that fit this bill. Have you ever heard of something that's both a creature and a fruit? I mean, I know that you eat each other and everything, but I don't think that's necessarily the answer. Yeah, and I have good animal handling if you'd like me to make that too.
If I may.
Sure.
You gotta crouch down because what you're talking to is very small, probably only this big, probably a little bigger than the berries. So maybe a small dodgeball size. Long beak, narrow, brownish feathers, and it kind of looks up at you and chirps. What are you looking for?
Oh, I'm looking for something that's both a creature and a fruit. Have you ever heard of such a thing?
I have been told that this is all, let's say this a little simplified. I'm not gonna play dumb for this creature. I've been told I'm a kiwi.
That you're a kiwi?
Yeah.
Is a kiwi also a fruit?
I eat them.
Oh, you do? Well, that's cannibalism, isn't it?
No.
Oh, well then I guess that's the answer. Can I borrow you for a second? I think I still have some fruit from my berry fight, if you'd like to snack on that.
Ooh, yeah.
Great, I'll teach you a dance when we get back. Do you know where to find the kiwis, the actual fruit?
Oh yeah, there's over that way. And it just points off in a random direction with its beak.
Alright, let's go. I'll go try to go off there.
Yeah, you're a druid. I'm not gonna make you roll animal handling for this because it's
sweet.
And the little kiwi is able to point you off in the right direction as a fruit.
Sweet.
Anadaius, what were you doing?
I'm just looking for whatever I can find on a tree. Be it bananas, pineapples growing out the ground, maybe some crab apples. Doesn't matter. I need a fruit and I need a creature.
Roll a survival or have one of your minions roll a survival. It doesn't really matter. Whatever Anadaius does.
Well, I rolled another 1.
Karma. Sir, do you need help?
I'm just pulling grass out of the ground.
But...
No, I've got this. Make yourself useful and find a creature.
Yes, sir. And Squawk goes walking off to find a creature.
Tibia, Tarsus, take this. You're farmers, you know what to do with it.
Yes, sir.
Good. Now we just sit here and wait for Squawk to come back. And I'll just take cross my arms and stand in the middle of the jungle.
Oh my gosh. Litzia and Flick.
Litzia's just looking for the kiwi fruit and sort of hopes Lagunas is gonna find the bird because druids and animals seems like a good thing.
Oh, you all had to do it like it was an individual task.
Oh, everyone has to do it on their own?
Yeah.
Because I worked really well with Flick on the first task, and Litzia does enjoy group projects as one of the rare species of researchers that enjoys, working with others. She's a real bird person. Bird? People person? It's somewhere in there. But she's gonna start looking for the fruit.
Okay.
At least that's stationary usually.
Roll a nature or survival check.
Great. Just great. At least survival goes on wisdom. That's something. 15?
Yeah, it takes you probably like a good 20 minutes to find some, but you are able to find the kiwi fruit.
Alright. I'll take several pieces of kiwi fruit, just in case something happens to them.
Perfect.
People seem very eager to eat things around here. And then I'm just sort of gonna go... Here, kiwi, 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 kiwi. Kiwi, 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 kiwi. Is it working? Does it work? It's gotta work. I've got nothing! I've got nothing!
I don't think that will work, just from a logical standpoint.
I'll try it in Oren. Here, kiwi, kiwi, kiwi.
That doesn't really make a difference.
I want to be friends with you.
Is Lagunas near Litzia at all?
Do you want
I have
to be?
no idea.
You might hear her.
I might have, yeah, just when I hear kiwi, 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 I say, Litzia, usually fruit don't respond well to being called by their names. I'm sorry.
But I'm looking for the bird. I have the fruit.
Oh, carry on.
Yep. Wait. When you say fruit doesn't usually respond, are you saying it sometimes does?
Well, I was contemplating if I was a fruit and I would respond to things, but you know what? Never mind. Good luck.
Lagunas, wait. How do you find a bird that isn't a bird but is also a fruit?
You asked for directions.
Lagunas, how do I find a kiwi?
He's gonna continue off in his own direction. No response.
You can actually just start heading back to where the leaders congregate, because it's also like a time task. Whoever gets done first is more points, basically.
Here, kiwi, 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 kiwi.
I don't think that's gonna work.
So I'm just gonna slice up bits of the kiwi and put a trail in the jungle toward me.
Okay.
Where I'm gonna put down a little basket on a stick with a little bit of string on it, so whenever the kiwi walks under the basket, I can pull the string and it'll capture the bird.
We'll get back to that.
Sit there and wait.
We'll get back to that. How about that? Flick.
So I'm gonna find a clearing somewhere in the woods, and I'm going to create just a little image of a kiwi bird.
Okay.
In the forest, and it doesn't do anything, it just stands there. And then I'm just gonna make what I think are kiwi noises.
Make a either performance or deception check.
I thought you were gonna say make a kiwi noise.
That's minor illusion, right?
It is minor illusion, in fact. Did you say, okay, so deception or performance?
Yes.
It's a good thing I took proficiency in either of those. I didn't. They're the same. That's not bad. How does a 15 sound?
It takes some time.
Okay.
But eventually, maybe about the same, about 20 minutes, before a small bird that looks like the kiwi you conjured shows up and kind of around your illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Pecks at it. What are you doing?
I come out, and I am like I'm bigger than a kiwi. Let's be clear. But not by a lot.
Yup.
And I come out and I think I've got like a little bit of rope that I try and toss around the kiwi's neck.
Okay. What kind of check do you want to roll for this?
That's a really good question. I'm not good at anything. I suppose. I'm regretting everything right now.
You can do it, Flick.
Oh, I'm scared.
I have
Okay,
faith in you.
let's do it. Can we do it?
You can do
They're
it.
all the same. All of the things that would be applicable.
Flavor it to me. How are you doing this?
All right. I come out and really quiet and sort of make that like continuing making the kiwi noise that I've been making.
Mm-hmm.
And like get as close as I possibly can before putting the rope on their neck.
All right. Well, let's say this is a stealth check.
Okay. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do
Mm-hmm.
is I'm going to as I go, I sort of look within myself and call on the magic of the Feywild,
Mm-hmm.
the chaos within me.
You want to unleash it.
Yep, we're gonna use that Tides of Chaos.
All right. Remind me what that does. I've actually never played with a wild soul sorcerer.
So once per long rest, I can gain advantage on one attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. Before I regain use of this feature, the DM can have you roll on the wild magic search table after you cast a first level spell or higher, and then I regain the use. Oh, so like I can use it once, and then in order to regain it,
Okay.
you can have me roll on the wild magic table. So it doesn't affect the wild magic table at the moment.
Yeah, but we got other rules in place for wild magic right now. So.
I know, it's fine.
So yeah, you can get advantage.
Thank you. That's worse. So the highest number was 8.
Yeah, you're not able to with your energy, just your natural energy, Flick energy. It runs before you can even get close.
Oh, I just wanted to make a new friend.
Does it run under my basket?
I was gonna say, I rolled percentile, and no birds come by, Litzia. In fact, though, it looks like all your fruit has been eaten, but they never came near your basket.
Wow, big move.
Anadaius. The, your 2 retainers come back with a lizard. Is this good, sir?
What do you call it?
I'm not familiar with this type of animal, sir. It's
Well,
some kind of
perfect. Since it's a new species, we'll call it what we want. It's a grass lizard.
Yes, sir. Should
And,
we head back, sir?
Grass is a fruit, last I knew.
Lagunas, did you head back to where the leaders were congregated?
I did.
You're the first one to show up with both kiwis.
Oh, great. I go, I found these 2 things. I don't know if the bird counts as a fruit or not, but this definitely does, right?
Oh, like, awesome job. That's so good. I was really, like, hoping that, Aisha would have been first, but, like, I'm really impressed. This is the Flingamango talking.
Oh, well, I can let her win if you want.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Well,
where's everyone else?
Oh, you're the first one to come back.
Wow, I didn't even figure out the riddle.
some point, not shortly after, like as if on cue, the Pitui Aisha comes with kiwis. So this is, they just kind of give you a nod. Lagunas. They got like 1,000-yard stare going, but they're smart.
Aisha is?
Mm-hmm.
I'm completely oblivious. Hello! You must be Aisha. Hello.
Yes. Hello. They turned back to the leaders and present their kiwis.
Okay.
Shortly after, Anadaius comes back. All the leaders don't really say anything, but they accept your, lizard and grass fruit.
Yes, it's a new species I discovered. Call it the grass lizard. Lives in the grasslands. And here's the jungle grass. It's a fruit.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Sir Anadaius. Flick, how do you find the fruit kiwi?
Okay, well, I have a plan since I couldn't get the bird. So what I'm gonna do now is I find some sticks, right? And I stick them up into my feathers to kind of to look that like, cause that's what kiwi feathers look like, are really like brown leafy sticks. So, and I like sort of I sort of puff myself out so that I'm as round as I possibly can. Then I find a rock and I like make the rock look like a kiwi using minor illusion, and I head back so that I am the kiwi and I have a rock that looks like a kiwi. Because
Beautiful.
it didn't work.
Beautiful.
So that's I mean, they didn't necessarily say it had to be the real thing. They were not very clear about the rules on that. So I just have to come back. I'm a kiwi. I have a kiwi. It's perfect.
Beautiful. When you return, Anadaius, Lagunas, Aisha, and the flamingo are back. 3 out of the 4 leaders, basically everyone except the cassowary and the Pitui leader, say you can't you need an actual kiwi, so your disguise is, they know it's you.
I'm a kiwi.
But they do let your illusion go by. Except the cassowary does give you a look. They don't say anything. They just give you a look. Litzia. You failed in getting your kiwi.
I have the fruit because I got a bunch.
You got fruit kiwi.
Yeah. I want to quietly head back to where we're supposed to be handing our stuff in, but not actually go all the way back. Sort of circle around. Can I try and steal one of the kiwis that's been handed in, bird-wise? No one said I had to find it in the forest necessarily.
True. What you can do is they're kind of releasing them after they bring them back.
Perfect.
So you can try and catch one that was just released.
I will do that.
How are you doing this? And we'll figure out your skill check.
I'm just going full monk bullshit, step of the wind, faster than the kiwi can see me coming.
All right. Do you want to make a grapple check for this?
I really do.
You do know if the initiator needs to roll athletics, right?
I know.
Okay.
It's fine. It's
fine.
fine.
It's fine? Okay.
Can I get advantage because I'm using Step of the Wind and I'm faster than any kiwi has ever seen a salt bird of jungle prey thing move?
Sure.
Yay! Oh, thank God you gave me advantage. 18 with a -1.
You're able to catch the bird.
Great. Fruit in one hand, kiwi on the other hand. It might have been timed, but I'm sure some other people got nothing, and I proudly stride into the clearing.
You are not the first.
Hoping they didn't like ring the kiwi or anything.
No. You're not the first, but you're not the last.
Oh, Litzia, did you calling out for the fruit ever help you, or did you get the actual thing?
Yeah, it just walked right into my path.
Wow. You have a way with the animals, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, not to your level, Lagunas. I could never get on your level, and I don't want to. But at least I got a Kiwi.
Oh, you can fly as high as I can. It's no different.
Fair. That's technically accurate, which is the best kind of accurate. Anyway, dear tribal leaders, Kiwis.
Good job. The last two other birds come in. They either have one or the other, not both. And after a brief respite, we all head over to the third island. The third island is a little different than the other two. This is where the flamingo villagers live. So there's actually a lot of water and rocks and low-hanging vines. The goal is to race all the way to the top of the summit. So it looks like, just based off the terrain, the water's about waist deep, except for Flick, but Flick can fly. But for a normal medium-sized creature, it's about waist deep. But there are actually a lot of rocks that you can step on if you would like to. And you just gotta get up to the summit, where there will be a honorary fight with the archipelago's protector. And
Do we just start off at the same time going up the mountain and that's it?
It is
What's
a race.
What's stopping us from just flying up there?
What you need to do, it's not as easy as it looks. The forest that you see, at least going through the forest, there's a lot of low-hanging vines that you need to dodge around. And even if you want to get through the canopy, there's still a lot of stuff you need to weave through. Make sense?
I see. Yes, of course.
But once you get up to the mountain area, there is cliff face that you can kind of fly parallel up to until you get to the summit.
I see.
So,
Anniek's question, when you say that we took a brief respite before we moved to the other island, would that be a short rest?
sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Me and my key points are grateful.
So, we're gonna roll initiative. As stated in the beginning, sabotages with the other birds is on the table. So, all right, everyone roll initiative, please.
Oh, good.
That's a 9 for Lagunas.
15 for Litzia.
I'm sorry. Who got above a 20? 15 to 19?
15. Oh, come on. Someone join me up here.
10 to 14? No? Okay.
Can I join the other team?
Sorry. Flamingo. Grebe. What did the three of you get?
9.
Anadaius?
8.
Oh my gosh.
4. I got a 4.
I am missing one. Cassowary, Flamingo, Grebe, and
Pitui.
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 All right.
Patchouli.
What we're gonna do is there's going to be a jungle portion and / water portion and cliff portion. Are you saying something, Wren? What are you doing?
To themselves. Can I quick question before we start? Did they give us an intermediate ranking of who's in the lead after 2 challenges, or
So,
other than Lagunas, who's doing oddly well?
Lagunas, So Anadaius is kind of like in the middle because he got a he did really good in the first one because he cheated, and then really bad in the second one. The P2E is highest because they succeeded on both, and then basically everyone who succeeded on one or the other challenges, and then everyone who failed on the others.
Okay.
That's like the rough estimate.
Yeah, that's all I need. That's
So
I need to know who to target, you know?
mostly the P2E.
Yeah.
They've been doing really good.
Top of the shit list.
So what happens is right out the gate, the cassowary goes. And they kind of like, they were like at the back of the line. So they kind of bulldoze over whoever is in front of them, which will probably be Anadaius. And they're gonna just try and shove you over because there's been this, you know,
Like to
friction.
see him try.
It's just gonna be a contested strength contest.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah. He's just trying to push you over. He's not like trying to grapple you or anything. So if you want to make a strength saving throw.
I rolled a 9 for a 17.
Oh, I forgot you're a paladin. You stumble, but you do not fall over. He is strong. But he's out the door, and he is. Let's see how he does. He does jump onto one of the rocks, but slips and falls in. So he has to get back up and keep going. Litzia.
Unmute. The Pitahui, is he left yet? Is he ahead of me?
The P2E, she is.
Oh, she, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I keep messing up too, but they are in the process of making their way forward, but you're able to get that reaction.
All right. And this is the jungly portion?
Yes.
I'm just gonna book it. Move. Bonus to dash because I'll spend a key point, and then action to dash again.
Are you flying or are you using the stones?
I'm gonna fly. I don't want to risk falling into the stones. I'm sure if there's like a few trees I can dodge.
I need you to make an acrobatics check to avoid the vines.
That is a 19.
Yeah. You're dashing forward. How are you
Through the jungle.
doing this so freaking fast, you dang monk?
I'm just a blur of stunning feathers. You can't even really tell. Like it's more of like a streak rather than a solid bird you can follow with your eyes. I'm using not just the feathers because my fly speed is less impressive than a lot of Aarakocra. There is a little hint of maybe pushing myself along the wind a little bit.
Beautiful. The flamingo and the grebe are shortly after you, and they the grebe kind of slips on the rock because they decided to run instead of fly, but since they have a swim speed, they are able to just like go. They are not impeded by the vines or rocks, so they book it. The flamingo is able to gracefully jump over the rocks and continue forward. Lagunas.
All right. So Lagunas is obviously starting off pretty slow, but what he's done is he's attached a string to the top of his quarterstaff, and he takes one of the fruits, the last fruit that was left over from the first challenge, the berry, and he ties it onto a hook at the end of this quarterstaff attached to a string, and he's going to start swinging it around, and like berry juice is getting everywhere, and you're going to hear him go, Kudro, can you get up to these flying islands? I don't know, but I can use your help.
What are you doing?
And I am going to cast Conjure Animals. And as a druid, shepherd of the, Circle of the Shepherd, basically, anyone who watches sees that as Lagunas has all these colored stripes of feathers from him, as he starts to channel magic into his quarterstaff, the red stripes from his coat or whatever, his feathers, kind of suddenly the color red jumps out of it and kind of gets like sucked into the staff, and then out of it, a red kind of glow pops out until he summons a giant boar that is right in front of him, and it's red in color and has these big tusks, and now like the rest of his colors are still there, but they kind of filled in where the red was. And you go, "Oh, Kudro, it's good to see you," and it probably would tackle him, and he's like, "Are you ready to go on a race, buddy? Tear through this forest?" And he's gonna, if nothing else, he's gonna mount onto this giant boar and hold the quarterstaff out like a fishing rod with the fruit in front of him, and he's gonna tear off into the forest.
So the forest is like, it's also like water, so he's gonna have to swim.
I will do my best to forge through at different points, but my idea was to kind of use him through the vine portion, and then I can take over and then
They're
go
like
around.
hanging vines from the trees.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Is that? Yeah, I mainly wanted it for like the charging speed, and then I'll deal with the water case by case if I need to.
Sure. Have Kudro make a athletics check to swim. We'll say he is
Okay.
charged swimming.
Sure. That's gonna be a 13.
It's not as fast as it could be, because
Yep.
boars aren't super graceful.
Yeah.
So I just love this image of you just charging forward, swimming through on this brightly colored macaw on a boar. It's great.
Yep.
Anadaius. Sorry, what was that?
Oh no, that's it. That's it.
Okay.
Well, Squawk, draw your sword. Cut these vines. I'm walking forward, and I just start marching. Tibia, Tarsus, keep up.
Yes, sir. So just regular speed, marching forward.
Yep.
Since you're not running and racing, I'll just say you can take your time going over the rocks as Squawk is slicing down these things for you.
Good. I'm hoping to catch some people climbing up the rock face.
Flick.
Okay, well, I saw Litzia take off, and while I am fast, Litzia is a bit faster, but I do want to do my best to catch up. So I am going to use my movement to I'm gonna fly through the air as fast as I can. And then I'm gonna use as much of my movement as I possibly can, which is movement, action to dash, and then for my bonus action, I get this incredible burst of hummingbird speed. Which is, I'm using the lightning rest, which is as a bonus action doubles my flight speed.
Beautiful. Make a acrobatics check to dodge through these vines. I'm gonna say you have advantage because you're size small.
Thank you. Oh, I'm really glad that these dice are so nice to me.
Oh no, what happened?
That's a 9.
Your lightning speed is basically negated by the fact that you run smack dab into a vine. I'm so sorry, Flick.
Why are my dice so mean?
Your coordination is just hindered when you're flying super fast.
So cool. With that, do I still get? I still move 100 feet, I think, if I'm not if the lightning speed doesn't work? Because I'm using my action and bonus, or my action and my movement to move.
If your speed is like 50, I don't know what your base speed is.
My speed is 50.
You can run 100 feet, so you're actually pretty fast.
Yeah,
not as
I
fast
could have been
as...
twice that though.
So, the Pitui, who just had like the slowest reaction time out of everybody, is the last out the gate. But, so they gracefully jump onto the rocks and start making their way forward. But Litzia, as you have made your way forward so far ahead, I need you to make a strength saving throw, please.
I don't know which dice to pick that isn't gonna betray me because my strength is just trash.
How far ahead were you able to get? What was your movement?
I'm 135.
Okay. It's in range. Cool. So
Yeah, that's a 6.
A flash of light comes out of this P2E's hands. It's like a light green, the same color as the leaves, and it races by everyone else, and it hits you, Litzia, and you feel this energy wrap around your wings, and you lose your fly speed, and you descend to the ground. This is the Earthbind spell.
All right. Do I take any falling damage?
No,
or-
it just you gently float to the ground, so
Okay.
you just lose your fly speed, and for now.
I'm not much slower on the ground, so we'll see.
At some point, obviously, Litzia is ahead, the most ahead, followed by Flick and some of the other birds. Anadaius is just taking their time, I guess.
Slow and steady wins the race.
As you make it to the mountain portion, you do start to feel a rumbling, and some rocks fall a bit as the flyers start making their way up the mountain. Back to the cassowary is booking it, freaking booking it. But they get hit by a rock and are set back. Litzia.
Is my flight speed still gone?
Yes.
All right. So I'd have to run up a mountain? I mean, I'm a monk, so whatever. Just feels rude. How far ahead is the cassowary?
This is just the initiative order. You were ahead of him, period.
Okay. How far behind me is the Pitahue?
Like all the way back near Anadaius.
No, but
Or like a little ahead of Anadaius, but
let's
behind
say
everyone else.
in feet, in case I'm trying to target them with something, just to make sure.
Like 150 feet.
Ah, that's too far away. That's unfortunate. We'll just keep running. I will use my regular run, and then I'll dash.
As you run up, I need you
Yeah,
to make a
I'm just gonna keep running.
dexterity saving throw, please.
At least that's one I'm proficient in. That's a natural 20 plus 7, 27.
You are easily able to dodge those rocks as they fall.
All right. I'm keeping an eye out for that Pitahue, though. If they come near me, they're going down.
So the flamingo gets hit by a rock, and they are completely set back. The grebe, after swimming a bit, is able to dodge the rocks and continue making their way up the mountain. Lagunas and your lovely boar friend.
Yes. I would like to. We made it through. We're just kind of like in the middle of the pack, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to take the approach of if we can not get hit by the stones, then we can continue trudging forward and maybe gain ground. So Lagunas is going to, as he's riding Kudrow, he's going to take out his staff again, and he's going to, well, yeah, he can do this. he is going to. No, he's going to take out his fan. He's going to take out his fan. And he's going to take out his fan and again kind of swirl around on this boar and cast Gust of Wind. Mechanically, it doesn't actually do anything to propel me. However, I'm trying to do it to like push the boulders out of my way as we move forward because I can like direct it each turn.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of like charge Kudro and then doing that on its back.
Make a spellcasting ability modifier check.
Okay. It's gonna be a 16.
Yeah, you are able to airbend these rocks out of the way before they hit you. Or what was your board's name?
Kudro.
Kudro. Before either of you are hit.
Onwards, up the mountain.
And he charges up the mountain. He's doing much better than in the water.
Great.
Charge.
Are we gaining ground?
And Deus?
I have a question. How
Yeah.
sheer of a drop is this this cliff face?
I'd say it's like a 45-degree angle. Annoying, but not undoable.
Okay, but not outright deadly. All right.
Nice
Where is
tumble.
the patchouli?
Probably only slightly ahead of you. I'd say within 30 feet.
Oh, perfect. I'm going to wait roughly behind them till they get about 60 feet, and I'd like to cast Hold Person on them.
I love it. Absolutely beautiful. What is the type of save and DC?
So as I basically stand and wait near the base of this cliff, and as Tibia and Tarsus approach, I turn and look at the reliquary, and then I look to the patchouli, and I reach into the reliquary and just kind of place my hands upon its blessed surface, and I think to myself, victory, domination, conquest. And I look over my shoulder and think of them shackled to the mountainside. It's a wisdom save 14.
As your shackles attempt to hold down this P2E, the kind of like their own like green energy like bursts out from their feathers. And it was DC what? 16?
14.
14? Oh god. It seems to knock away the energy of your spell. And it just looks... She looks at you with a smirk. I rolled an 18 on the die. Sorry.
Perfect. All right, I see how this is going to work. I'd like to, therefore, charge up at them instead.
All right. You are able to charge, but you cast a spell, so.
Yeah.
Flick.
Okay, so I'm gonna first move my 50 feet that I can move.
Baby.
And who in relation to everybody, given that I just moved real fast that first round, are people ahead of me now? Are there people behind me?
Both.
Okay. Who's ahead of me at the moment?
Mostly Litzia.
Okay. I'm rooting for Litzia because she's real fast. So I think after I've moved my 50 feet directly under me, I pull out a bit of spider web out of one of my pouches and I toss it down on the path below me.
Yeah.
And cast web.
All
so
right.
that anybody who, and I kind of want to, I know that some of the people racing are flyers, but most of them are on the ground, I feel like, at this point.
It's about roughly half-half. Might be off by one, but...
I'm not as worried about the I should be worried about the flyers, but they can always fly around the web, so I'm worried. So, but the people on the path, the birds on the path are the ones that are going to be real screwed by this. So
that would be
that's
the
what I'm doing.
P2E, Anadaius, and the two regular retainers, and the Cassowary.
Am I?
Probably Lagunas, too.
Oh,
I
and
was gonna say,
Lagunas.
am I also affected?
Technically not
Yeah.
you because you can fly, but Kudro is.
Kudro, yeah, poor Kudro.
Is that it?
Yeah, so when the minute they get to the web, they're gonna all have to make dexterity saves.
Sure. Anadaius, you're right up in front of this P2E. And they just kind of give you a birdie grin as they wave their hands and cast a spell. You don't have mage, like any of the mage slayer feats or anything, right? Perfect. They P2E cast a spell. And Litzia, all of a sudden, this P2E is ahead of you. As if they stepped through an archway, a door of some sort. Anadaius, this bird just walked through his glowing archway and is suddenly ahead of Litzia.
Fudging Fudgerson.
How long does that doorway last?
I was about to say, is it still there?
I think it has to be a willing creature. Hold on. You tell them. You can. I think they would have to. You can also bring one willing creature, but I think it has to be like
I'm choosing
willing on both sides.
Okay.
And that is the end of the round. Essentially, it's Litzia and the P2E followed by Flick. A couple of the others. Are you just still casually making your way up, Anadaius? Anadaius, you are behind and probably one of the last people to get up there. One moment. After all of you have made it to the top, it is just this large circular plateau. You can see deep gouges in the stone. After like a couple moments, the other birds, like the native birds, don't look concerned or confused, but you all suddenly hear an ear-splitting screech, and the ground beneath you rumbles a bit. Litzia, you have your fly speed back, by the way. And kind of just almost seemingly out of nowhere, you're not 100% sure where this creature came from. Circling around the top of the mountain, you see a very large bird with feathers of green, blue, white, and red. And when I say large, it's kind of size category gargantuan.
Oh, it's very big.
It is very big, especially to you, Flick. And it kind of lands. Like, this mountain is, like, super big. There's plenty of room, even after, like, it, like, lands with a crash in front of you, and the entire ground vibrates. And it screeches at you. And we're going back into initiative. If anyone wants a free nature check on what this is...
I'll take that.
I would like very much, when I start hearing these sounds, to cast mage armor on myself, if that's at all possible.
Sure.
21.
Just like,
Did anyone else roll? No?
oh, nope, sorry.
Oh.
Got distracted by
I should try. Hang on. It's
Okay. Oh,
Anniek
that's
didn't
better.
care, but Litzia would.
18. Wait, yeah, 18.
Nature?
Nature.
19.
So the three of you do know what this is. Anadaius, it doesn't look like you rolled, but all the feathers on your retainers' bodies have slicked down in fear. And you can, Squawk leans over to you and whispers, "That's a rock."
No, that's a bird.
You all know what a rock is, right? Big ass,
Yeah.
big monstrosity. Yeah, the three of you noticed it, and Squawk rolled high enough to know what it is. No, that's like the name of the thing. I'm gonna sit this one out.
Brave retainers.
I look at Squawk. Well, I would hope you're sitting it out. You'd get yourself killed. Just raise the colors
Raises the flag.
and protect the reliquary.
They all say yes, sir. Back to the top of the round. The cassowary runs up and just kind of goes to town on it. They at this entire time they've had a great sword at their not a great sword, a great axe at their hip, and just attacks at this large ass foot. Litzia.
When you say the caster runs up to it, are we like cresting up to this plateau, or are we all already there? Where's the Pituhui?
You were all already there. You can all be standing where you would have liked to. The four champions were kind of like spread out, as if they kind of knew what to expect already.
Fair.
So you could be wherever you would like to be.
Remind me of the rules. It was who got to the top here first, which is the Pituhui.
Does
And then
that, yeah, does the race matter in terms of who got to this part first, or is it just who beats the rock and then is first? Or
what I'm asking is, if I want to shove the Pituhui down off this cliff so they're not a part of this, would that still matter in terms of ranking, or would it just make me feel better?
It would make you feel better, but they're not near the edge. They got there ahead of you and quickly moved away from the edge.
Mm-hmm. But would it matter in terms of ranking?
It would not matter.
I have time. No, I'm kidding.
But, yeah, Litzia.
I will move past my feelings about Pituhui for now, and I'll run up and quarterstaff punch a rock.
Beautiful. Go for it.
Quarterstaff punch. Well, the quarterstaff's 20.
Yep.
Oh, I can't do math. 16 and 7.
That hits.
All right, and then 16 and 7, and then a 12
total.
So 2 hits.
Yes, 2 hits.
All right. Damage. Probably immune to bludgeoning or something like that. That's 10. Is that right? Yeah, that's 6. Oh no, hang on. I'm doing a d6 for my quarterstaff, and it should be d8. I'm sorry. Surely I have a d8. There it is. Wow, that is not much better. 17 points of bludgeoning damage.
Beautiful.
If it matters, my unarmed strike counts as magical at this level.
It does not matter.
Okay, and then... Oh, it's probably immune, but... I'm gonna try and stun it. With a stunning strike.
DC?
Da.
They got a 17 on the die. I don't think it matters.
No, it's a 16.
The flamingo and the grebe. The flamingo kind of runs up, similar to what you did, Litzia, with a quarterstaff, and kind of like runs around to the other side. And the grebe has a some kind of sword, and seems to be working in tandem with the flamingo, and they both make blows upon it. Lagunas.
all right. Well, I'm going to have Kudro charge up to it, and I go, I hope you like berry! And I take my quarterstaff, and out of it, little bits of green sprigs of sprouts, of leaves and such, and moss grow off of it. I'm casting Shillelagh.
Okay.
And then I go up to this thing, and in one fell swoop, Kudro is charging, as a giant boar does. And then I'm like, in one fell swoop, hitting it with a berry, and then also my quarterstaff. So, do you want me to roll both of those attacks?
Please.
Okay. That is going to be a 20 to hit on the charge.
Yep.
It needs to make a DC 13 strength saving throw.
I think that makes it. It is.
Yeah, I presume so.
Yeah, it is. Actually, yeah, that makes it.
Okay. And then it is a 21 to hit
Yes.
with my quarterstaff.
Yes.
So that's going to be 2. So he takes 7 slashing damage from the. Oh wait, no, it takes extra from this. So 7 plus 3, so 10 slashing damage from the from Kudro, and then I always forget the Shillelagh damage. Becomes a D8. Oh, that's a whopping 2 damage on my quarterstaff.
Beautiful.
And that's gonna be Lagunas' turn.
Anadaius.
Where's the Patui?
They've kind of taken a stance near a large rock, kind of to your right, probably about 30 to 40 feet away.
Wait, did we skip my turn?
Oh, I'm sorry, Flick. Wait, no, no, it's Lagunas, then Anadaius, then you.
I rolled an 18 on my initiative.
That's my apologies. Do you want to take your turn
Okay.
quick?
No, it's we'll finish up with Anadaius first.
Okay.
And then we'll get back.
Two. Okay. Well, destroying this big beastie is kind of the last challenge, but this Patui seems to be one of the potential usurpers to my attempt to become the supreme overlord of these islands, so they need to be destroyed. And I will swagger up behind them, my mace drawn, my shield in the other hand, and as I look down upon them, did I say mace or morning star? I meant my morning star.
Beautiful.
I look at them and I say, this is nothing personal. This is just a matter of conquest, and I will attack them.
Beautiful. Go for it.
I just rolled a 20, and I would like to take this opportunity to expend a spell slot to Divine Smite them,
Go for it.
since I rolled a critical and it seems like an excellent opportunity.
Ow.
How would you like me to double dice rolls or double what I roll?
I like to do it in terms of one is maxed and you roll the other.
Gotcha. Okay. So the Morning Star damage is going to be 13 plus another 3, so 16. And then the Divine Smite, excuse me, I never get to do this. Radiant damage. Ugh, is going to be 32.
Oh, ow. This P2E.
Or no, I'm sorry. 8, 11. Okay. 27.
Oh, still, it is a mighty blow to this Kenku. And as you hit them with your Morning Star, you are suddenly wreathed in flame.
Cool. I do have my second attack as well.
Oh, beautiful. This is still a reaction, so you're gonna take some lovely fire damage. That's gonna be
Cool.
17 fire damage as you are
Awesome.
wreathed in flame.
Do I get a save on that?
You do. Sorry, that's my bad. Dexterity save. DC 15.
Yeah, I failed it.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
full 17.
Cool. Just adjust that. 17 damage.
Heck yeah.
Yep, alright, still good. And then my second attack, that's going to be 19 at least.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Alright,
You do feel a slight resistance, but you seem to break through it.
cool. And I'd like to use a bonus action to cast Wrathful Smite.
Wow. You're just fucking this bird up.
That's
Paladin.
13 from the Morning Star, as I basically crash down again after the fire wreathes my face. And, that's not great on the Wrathful Smite. That's okay. The Wrathful Smite's going to be D6 Psychic, so I rolled one Psychic damage.
Beautiful.
And, it needs to make a Wisdom saving throw against 14.
That's a 13 on the die. Their modifier. They fail.
They are frightened of me. As I just assail them with my Morning Star, and I just stare down at them and say, "You stand between me and these islands, you will be subjugated."
Is that it?
Yeah.
Flick.
I want to apologize. It was because I had made that nature check and confused it with the second initiative roll, so everything's fine.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, okay, great. Just like, sorry. Like, ugh. Okay, so, first of all, Flick's pulling out one of her other potions, or whatever from her pouch. A potion with, like, it's red, but it, like, seems to enlarge and reduce, enlarge and reduce. And really quick, she pops the cork open, and I drink it down.
I'll say that's a bonus action. If that's okay? Or
oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I'll say that's your bonus
great.
action.
Okay. I was okay either way. Cause sorcerer. So, and Flick grows to like now, like she's still pretty small, but now she would be like considered a medium-sized creature.
I love it.
Okay. This is great. This is fun. And then, after that, there's a lot happening.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much. And I just blink my eyes really rapidly until suddenly I poof. Well, I don't poof out quite yet, but flavorfully, yeah, there's like a little wink in and out as I cast blink on myself.
Beautiful.
And that's...
I'm gonna make you roll the thing on the wild magic table now.
Okay, great, perfect. 45.
Okay, what is the effect on the wild search table for a 45?
Okay.
I think I know exactly what this one is.
This one is...
Okay, no.
Here's the thing. I'm already a bird. So I theoretically am already up in the air, but I am in fact levitating now.
Beautiful.
My wings stopped beating for a second and I'm still flying. It's kind of strange.
You are floating. It's really weird. It's super close to, I think, the fireball one on the table.
It is not.
It's not
quite. No.
Nope, my bad. Anyway, you are levitating and you don't have to fly. If you don't want to, but
odd.
It is really weird.
So that is all of my turn. And hold on. So now I get to roll a d20. Oh, look at that. And that, I think, now I can't remember how this spell works. Oh my god.
What are you doing?
There's so many numbers I have to keep an eye on.
What you doing?
Oh, and Flick, after getting bigger and sort of suddenly floating, blinks out of existence. Or at least this plane.
Flick has disappeared.
Yep.
It's the P2E's turn, and the P2E yeets away from you, Anadaius. Attack of op.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Go for it.
Ugh.
Their AC is 15.
Yeah, I don't believe that's going to... Yeah. 15.
Their AC is 15.
Oh, wait, no. I rolled a 4, so that's only a 12.
Yeah, they're just able to, back away very quickly. Their one eye is on you, but another is on the giant rock. And they do cast a spell on it. But it doesn't seem to have any effect. The cassowary once again goes to town, hacking and slashing at the rock's leg. Actually, no, it's the rock's turn. I skipped the rock's turn. The rock rears back and flaps its wings hard. And you all are buffeted. Flick, you have disadvantage because you're levitating right now and kind of just going with the float. Oh wait, you're out. You're way. You're right.
I'm on another plane.
You are on another plane. Never mind. Everyone make strength saving throws, please.
Why it gotta be strength?
Okay, so my Kudro got a 24, but
I forgot you still have your giant boar with
Yes.
you. I'm sorry.
But Lagunas got a 5. So, is there any way that
You want to?
like the boar can help keep me down?
He's like, you're kind of on top of him, right?
Right.
I'd still say like you're kind of like mounted on him, and you'd still need to like grasp to keep yourself from getting thrown off. So I'm gonna have to say no.
Okay. So what? Okay.
I apologize.
That's okay. I'll just walk up to it next turn.
What did everyone else get?
I got a 13. Not rolling so hot.
I rolled better than I deserve, and I got a 16.
All the birds except the cassowary are pushed back. Litzia, you're okay. The boar is okay. Anadaius, you are pushed back and knocked prone. Not too far, maybe like 20 feet. But cassowary still there, goes to town on it. Litzia.
Did you say Anadaius was knocked prone? Okay, because I was gonna do that to try and keep him away from murdering other birds. But if he's other prone, there's no such thing as double prone.
No.
So I'm going to use my action to start my dangerous dance, my jungle bird of paradise trait. I launch myself into a furious dance, sort of like what I did when we entered the village, but angrier and more punchy, and less flashy. I whirl around my enemy at great speed. Sadly, that's my action, so I can't attack on this turn.
Unfortunate.
But I'd like to move a little bit around the rock, so if necessary, I can punch Anadaius as well, or instead.
Okay.
I don't want to leave the rock's threatened area, but I kind of want to like go around and, you know, potentially punch Anadaius while I'm dancing as well. Just to
Okay.
make sure. And that's my action and my movement. Bonus action, I will, I just forgot the word. I'll take the defense action.
Okay. So your AC, or they have disadvantage.
Yeah.
The
Try and
flamingo.
get me now.
The flamingo and the grebe have to get up and remake their way towards the rock because they were knocked prone. Lagunas, you were knocked off your boar.
Okay. I'm going to get up very carefully. Is it still like kind of windy, or is it stopped? Was it just one big?
It was one big gust.
Okay. I get up and I go, well then. Looks like I might need to call on another one of my friends. I'm going to call out, I'm going to say, Zarik, I need your strength. And another, this time, a green color comes out of his feathers. And as it gets channeled through his staff, suddenly a spectral, ethereal bear shows up, floating in the air next to him. And an aura of green shimmering light emits 30 feet around me. And any of my allies that are in the... well, I guess I can choose. So each creature of your choice in the aura. So any of these fine bird friends will get temporary hit points equal to 11 temporary hit points. And you gain advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws while in the aura.
Cool.
And that takes a bonus action. I'm gonna call Kudro's gonna continue to try to gore this thing. That's a 19 to hit.
You're attacking the rock?
Yeah.
Yes, that hits.
Okay. It's gonna be 7 points of slashing damage from his tusks, and then can I go with half of my movement to back into range of this thing?
Yes.
Okay. And then I'm going to take another whack at it with my quarterstaff shillelagh.
Okay.
Oh, that's a crit.
Wow.
I mean, it's a shillelagh, so it's not going to do a ton, but let's see. Oh, okay. Oops. That's going to be 15 damage,
Beautiful.
and that's going to be my turn.
Anadaius.
Well, not one for being tossed on my back, I'll roll over, stand up, using my movement.
Half your movement.
Half my movement. Cool. How far is the rock from me?
About 20 feet.
Oh, well,
But
that's not far at all.
it's pretty large, so I'll say you can get to it.
Cool. With my action, I would like to channel divinity and do my conquering presence. As an action, I can force chosen creatures within 30 feet to make wisdom saving throws, or on a failure, they become frightened of me.
All right.
So I'm going to pick everyone but my retainers.
Flick, you're not there. You're okay. I think
Save?
everyone else is in range. And I think the P2E has disadvantage because they're already frightened, right? Is that right? Or is that a different ability? I think that's a different ability.
I don't think you could be double frightened,
Yeah,
but
no. I think I'm thinking of your aura.
What's
Because
the saving throw?
oh yeah, you all get +3 on this. For the hell of it, just allies don't make it. Don't make the check because
Oh,
that's
but I just rolled a 17. Give it to me.
okay. You're good.
I'm very carefully rolling my labradorite die without chipping it. I hope.
and
y'all are used to this aura, so
Yeah, we're used to your bullshit.
what kind
it's
of
14.
save was
Wisdom.
it? Wisdom? Okay. Flick.
Oh, golly. Okay, so I pop back in. And because I'm levitating and don't have to worry about flying, I pluck one of my feathers out really quickly.
Yeah.
I sort of, and hold it between my hands, and I make this kind of motion and send it forward. And as it goes forward, it turns into, well, okay, so for clarification, I would have popped back in 10 feet, a little bit closer to the rock, flown within about 20 feet of the rock. Not within melee range, but close enough, but, in that. And cast, and the feather that, as I sent it flying, turns into a line of moths. And the rock has to make a dexterity save.
As I make this dexterity save, what else were you doing, Anadaius? I cut your turn short, and I
sorry.
apologize. That was my fault.
That's fine. I was just going to use my bonus action to cast magic weapon.
Beautiful.
And when it summons, I'm going to essentially make a giant gauntleted fist appear behind the Patui, and it's going to smash it.
Smash the Patui. Do it.
12 plus probably a 3. Plus a 6, so 18.
Yeah, that hits the Patui.
They're going to take 11 more damage.
Oh. Yeah, they look hurt. You cast Line of Moths, you said?
Poisonous moths.
Poisonous moths. And what kind of save was it?
Yeah. It's a dexterity save.
The rock it's kind of weird because it is much bigger than your spell, but you are able to hit it and it is not able to move out of the way.
Okay. So it takes 8 points of poison damage.
Beautiful.
And that is my action. And then for my bonus action, you see this like shiver kind of go down Flick's side. So I use 2 of my sorcerer's points to cast, or for quicken spell, so I can cast Chaos Bolt. I sort of stick my tongue out at the rock, like, and as it does so, a beam of something happens.
Oh god, I love this spell. It's so ridiculous.
Okay. Oh golly, this is gonna be a thing. Oh, and I'm doing a Chaos Bolt at 3rd level.
Okay.
Just because, why not? I've never done this before. We'll see how it goes. Oh, that's an 18 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
Great. So, oh god, there's so much. Okay, so then I roll some d8s.
So you roll 2 d8s, and you
And it does a thing.
you choose one of them, and that's the type of damage it is.
Okay, so Let's see. We got our options. We got force and we got lightning. You know what? Let's hit it with some lightning damage. That sounds like fun.
Love it.
So it takes. So that's 9 points of lightning damage. If I'm reading it correctly, and because I cast it at 3rd level, it takes an additional 3d6.
Okay.
If I'm reading this, yes. Which is 3, 7.
Okay. You smell
Yeah.
singed feathers.
Mhm.
So what happens after your chaos bolt hits it with lightning and singeing feathers? The rock kind of gets a wild look in its eyes, surveys the situation, and begins to flap away, specifically away from Anadaius. Litzia, I will allow you to use your dance as an attack of opportunity as it begins to flee.
Attack of opportunity is 1 attack action, so I still get to take 2 attacks if it's 1 action. I've never monked before.
I will
but I'm
say,
thinking that's how it goes.
I will say, go for it anyway. This is a one shot.
Great.
We do what we want.
Attack, quarterstaff. Just, again, you know, you kind of have to, like, bullet time matrix this if you really want to see what Litzia's doing. It's, again, just amazing streak of color and blur and just feathers. And a quarterstaff going, pow! I hope, because this is going to be the attack rolls. Those are good. Dirty 20.
Mm-hmm.
And, dirty 20.
Yep.
2 filthy 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow, that is max damage on both die.
Wow.
18, 22 damage plus my dangerous dance lets me add my level, which is 6. What did I say? 28, 32? 32. And since it's not actually my turn, I'll leave it there. I won't use any other ridiculous monk shit.
Incidentally,
Yes.
Flick did not blink out of existence this time.
Okay, so you
I'm
are
still there.
still there.
I am.
So you're able to get this dazzling flurry of dancing blows on this rock as it flies away. And we are
I
out of
wasn't done with you!
out of combat.
Oh.
What happens is, let me change the music to something less dramatic, please. So, what happens
Pity,
is,
I had a damaging spell with Anadaius' name on it.
what usually happens is at this final battle, the rock chooses the next archipelago representative based off the skills. So, since it flew away, it was unable to do that. Is there anything?
Oracle chicken.
Is there any last minute conversations or tasks anyone would like to do before we come to a close after the disruption of decisions and of this basically tradition of this archipelago?
Oh, did we do the challenge? Did we win? What happened? I say to the elder or the champion or something.
Flick continues to blink in and out for a little while, saying, blink, blink, skip, blink,
Well,
2, blink, stay,
this is the flamingo. So
for a
like,
while.
since the rock ran away and didn't get to choose the island representative, unfortunately, we're gonna have to do this all again.
It fled from the battle due to my presence, just terrified of me because it knows I'm the true leader and ruler of these lands.
if he could make me a reflex saving throw, please.
You mean dexterity?
Yeah, sorry. I've played a lot of Pathfinder. Like, I played 10 hours of Pathfinder yesterday.
It's fair.
I'm just assuming an 8 fails.
Yeah, it kind of does. Let me just...
Jeez.
I'm almost done, I swear. I can't let Anadaius speechify on the edge of a cliff and not do anything. You take 23 points of damage, and you're knocked prone. Like, preferably mid-sentence. As we were saying, thank you for letting us participate in your important ritual. We're very sorry for how it went. And, yeah, sorry about him specifically. We're not all like that, I swear.
And if that's okay, I think that's a good place to end it. Is there anything else?
I would say that Flick would do her best. She would not try to participate again, but she might try and convince them to let her stay because she likes traveling and vacations, and this is great, and she wants to stay on these islands forever!
Request.
At least I learned a good dance.
Request granted, Flick.
Yay!
Anything else? Okay. Anyway, thank you everybody for showing up. We're going to do our sign-offs and also choose the winners of the giveaway. Which should we do first, sign-offs or giveaway?
Giveaway?
Okay, I hear giveaway.
But do it a giveaway.
Okay, sure, we'll do that first. So I'm gonna close giveaway. All right, so we have 3 prizes. It's the first. Let me pull up my reference so I make sure I get this correctly. So first prize, well, third prize. I'm gonna draw third prize first, and then I'm gonna go up the thing. Third prize is gonna be a copy of Warriors of Sehanine and Shore of Dreams, and the winner is Eva Serrate. You get a copy of Warriors of Sehanine and Shore of Dreams. Please say something in chat. Second prize is Panda, Big Panda. You get a copy of Birds of Paradise. And last but not least, first place will get a copy of all 3. Drum roll, please. Jonathan, congratulations. Please reach out to me, and we can get y'all squared away, and reach out to me and we will get all of you those prizes ASAP. Anyway, once again, thank you everyone for joining us on this lovely, lovely one-shot featuring the Birds of Paradise supplement. You got to see all of our lovely birds and then some. Just a reminder, you can purchase the supplement on the DMs Guild. I have put the link in chat. And the art was created by Relica Marinescu, and you can find them on Twitter at Mara_draws.
Both of them are very good. The art and the book itself.
Yes.
Both excellent.
Yes.
Highly recommend.
So we'll do sign-offs where we can find everybody. Anyone would like to start?
I can go. Sure. Hi everybody. I'm the Lady Dame. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet at the Lady Dame, specifically Twitch, Twitter, and Discord. I played Flick, which was super, super fun. You can find me, let's see, as far as like TTRPG shows, I've got quite a bit coming up. You can find me on Open for Adventure on Wednesdays at noon Central in the Uncaged Anthology run by the lovely Anniek, which has been precious and wonderful. Tomorrow on Eva Serrate's channel at 10. No, what time is it?
12
Are we
Central.
doing? 12 Central also. I was like, it's 10, but it's that specific. In 10 Candles with both Mayor and Anniek, which is gonna be spooky and scary and terrifying and sad. Lots of feels. And then I feel like there's some open on Extra Life on November 7th on Open for Adventure. There's gonna be a 24-hour stream where you'll find many lovely faces that you found here. I am also, again, I think, playing with Anniek. Pretty much, it's shocking how many games I'm playing with Anniek given the extreme time zone difference.
9 hours.
I know.
9 hours. True
9 hours.
dedication, this.
It's fine. But also I'm going to be in Anniek's game and also in the Character Voices talk show, where we get to talk about how to bring your characters to life using your own voice and how to play with your voice to give yourself some different things. And then the celebration, I'll be in and out all day, in various ways. And then I stream on my own channel on Saturday nights. I'm currently in the middle of reading My Immortal. I've got a lot of stuff going on with that particular stream. That's a lot, and it's a good time. And playing games and whatnot, and lots of spooky stuff for September or for October. So come check that out. That's me. It's a lot.
I can go next. Hi, my name is Luke. You can find me on the Twitterverse at Dr. Petrichor. And right now I don't have anything going on the Twitch world, but I make video game cinematics for a living, and I also am working on my own desert campaign. So this was super fun playing Lagunas. Are we doing favorite part?
Yeah, I just realized that. Do you want to do your favorite part and we'll backtrack to Lady Dame?
Sure.
We'll let you finish.
I think one of my favorite parts, just short and sweet. I mean, there's so many great moments, but the favorite one-liner that I had was Anadaius when Squawk came up and was like, "That's a rock," and he goes, "That's not a rock, that's a bird." So that's me.
Favorite part, Lady Dame?
Oh golly, there were so many good ones. I think it was Lagunas like flying artfully to the islands. Like that whole description was beautiful and just delightful and wonderful.
Hi, I'm Wren, and I'll go next. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Thorny Dryad, like the thing under my name, like a prickly bush. If you liked seeing me on stream right now, you can see me play a totally different character this afternoon over on Open for Adventure. I play every Sunday in the Sunday stream there, my halfling fighter, Devereaux Thistlebrook. I am also the voice of a character called 8 in a podcast called Roads Uncharted, which is a Genesis system actual play podcast. And that is in a homebrew world of GM Dax's design. Dax is in chat doing stuff. So if you like me, I suppose you could give that a listen. There's plenty to like about it. My favorite part about today's game, honestly, I liked Lagunas and Flick kind of jiving at the little party at the start. But one of my favorite things was the idea of Flick just kind of blinking in and out of existence to just this tiny little bird pipping and popping and bipping and bopping around in the air. So I thought that was really cool.
I think that means it's my turn. My name is Anniek. You can find me on Twitter at Anniekster. Should be under my name at some point. I play a lot of games, but I don't stream myself, so I'm just hanging out with other people doing streams. Mentioned before, tomorrow and the Monday after, I'm actually facilitating the 10 Candles game. All the feels and all the tragic horror and the crying because everyone dies. It's going to be beautiful.
Spoiler.
I'm so excited. I think if anyone has ever read the system, they know how it goes. On Wednesdays, I run the Uncaged Anthology, parts of it, on Open for Adventure. Also, surprising amount of feels, actually, for what is technically a bunch of modules that I'm adapting heavily by accident. Those are on Wednesdays. And then, indeed, 7th of November, the extra live stream, I get to start the 24 hours with a group of people that have to save a corgi from the death zone. Corgis, man. And then later on in the day, when I've had a power nap, I am a host of a talk show along with some other people and a bunch of guests where we talk about DMing and how maybe not always doing Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, but spreading your wings a little can help you grow as a DM. And we'll be very quickly building miniature one-shots using an adventure generator. My co-host will be building a one-shot in 5e, and I will be building, I haven't chosen yet, either Ryotama or Monster of the Week. And we'll see how those ways of making a one-shot compare to each other. And some of our guests are amazing, and we're going to go off topic so bad, but in amazing ways. It's going to be great. I'm very excited. I also paint things, and sometimes my commissions are open, but that's on Twitter. You can find all of that there.
Favorite part?
Favorite part? Yeah, I have a bunch written down, but I think Flick covering herself in sticks and trying to pass herself off, and when it failed, just the saddest, but I'm a Kiwi. Of course, if you want to be a Kiwi, you can be a Kiwi, Flick. Of course you can.
And I think that leaves me. Hi, I'm Mare. You can find me on Twitter at Archmage of Dice. On Open for Adventure, I play in a Numenera campaign on Saturday nights starting at 8:30 Eastern. We will be off the next couple of weeks just due to conflicts and supporting other people, one of those times being Extra Life. And we will be returning back on the 14th of November. Tomorrow, as Lady Damon and Anniek have already said, I will be in the 10 Candles game playing Sarah Davis. And then this Friday, I will be in the Friends Who Roll Dice charity stream playing Little Fears, also with Lady Dame.
I forgot something.
It's okay. That will also be supporting, their charity stream will be supporting Rain and Earth Day Network. So that starts at 4 Pacific on Friends Who Roll Dice. And last but not least, I will be running another one-shot on my channel. It's going to be a murder mystery on the 30th, a Friday night, starting at about 7 or 7:30 Eastern. More information will come up. I'll work on that information now that this one-shot is over. My favorite part is... there were too many good parts. I'm having a hard time choosing. But I really liked the dynamic with Anadaius and everyone else. I loved to hate him, and he was a great bean. And he's a great character, and maybe not a good person. How about that? I will also, before I forget, I will also be in a couple Extra Life things. But anything else anyone would like to say?
This is a great supplement.
Yeah.
Yes.
To the creators for letting us use it.
Big
Yes,
thanks to all
thank
the
you so
creators.
much.
Thank
That's
you
so
for
much
letting us
fun.
use this supplement, and I also really congrats to all the winners.
You're in for a
Shore
treat.
of Dreams. Shore of Dreams is also a beautiful module to run. All the NPCs are fun. There's minis from Trashbot, minis included, so that you can actually see what they're supposed to look like. It's just all good.
Yeah.
Just even if you didn't win, you can always go buy it on DM's Guild.
Yes.
Support small creators.
Yes. All the times, yes. Once again, thank you, and everyone have a lovely day, and we'll see you next time.